Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all-Potter podcast.
Swish and flick. Everyone? Swish and flick.
Hello, and welcome to episode 52 of Swish and Flick. I'm Sarah.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Katie.
This episode is sponsored by Katie McMahon, right?
Yeah.
Thank
You sounded
you.
like Tiffany there. She always says everyone's name with a question at the end.
Well, I can't read, so... And so because we just can't get enough of him, we are again joined by Ezra. Our main man's helping us out and giving Tiffany some much-needed time with her daughter. So hello.
Hello,
Hi,
guys.
And welcome to Swish and Flick.
Hey, thanks, guys. It's really good to be back. You know?
Again.
Are
Again.
you sure?
Yeah.
On a very
You're not
special
tired of us?
episode.
No, I'm not
This
tired
is
of you
a
guys.
super-
And this is a super special episode. And so, like, I feel like last year, this time, I met you guys.
Well, technically
You
it
know?
was like the next day, but
Okay, well, okay.
if we're going to be technical.
If we're going to be technical about it, then yeah, whatever. I met you guys last year.
You know what's crazy, though? Is
What?
that, like, in the whole year, so we moved to Tiffany's, and we're, like, back here for, like, our 1 year.
Oh,
Tiffany's
yeah.
not
Guys,
here
I
for
actually
sure.
thought the first episode, I was sitting in that
Probably that
chair
recliner.
or that couch
But
over
you were
there.
over
Yeah.
there.
But I
Yeah.
was way
You were
over there, and I was
sleeping 'cause
snoring.
we were
I'm sorry.
So interesting.
Wait,
that
I don't think it was the first episode that he was
Probably
sitting
the
in.
second episode.
It was like the one that he like drove at 6 o'clock in the morning to come.
Yeah, they kept me up all night, and I, helped them with stuff. Why did I come up?
Because you're
You were
awesome.
you came up like the first couple of times we recorded.
to show us how to edit, to show us how to use
Yeah.
the equipment.
That was when he liked us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now he doesn't like us anymore.
Well, so yeah, to all of you who are listening, you're welcome. I'm just kidding,
But he's
guys.
not
Thank
kidding.
you for having me on, though. It's great.
All right, so today we
hold
will
on.
be
Do
Wait.
I want to say like what this episode is?
Why is it so special?
Why is it
There's
special?
this episode is like an onion. It has layers of specialness.
It
ogres
does have
are
a
like
lot of layers.
Oh, they smell bad? Yeah, no.
Oh,
I mean,
Shrek.
every episode is special.
I know,
But
But-
this one has some extra special things going on.
because it's our 1 year.
It is 1 year since Swish and Flick started.
Yeah, and it's crazy that we're literally recording like the weekend of the 1 year.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yes.
we were supposed to record this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But because we didn't record it 2 weeks ago, we get to record it with some special people with us.
Yeah.
Because
They're not that great. No, I'm just kidding.
Sarah. So we are. We have some friends in town for the Wizardly World of Kent that is going on.
If you're a patron,
If
it's
you're a
today.
patron,
If you're not, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So we have Beverly, Jessica, and Julie with us today in the Swish and Flick basement,
The OG.
OG.
the OG Swish. and
Whoa,
Flick
you owe me a
basement.
Coke.
I'll buy you one. Don't worry.
Do you guys want to say hi?
That was
That
beautiful.
was in unison.
All right.
They're sitting behind us on high chairs, overseeing everything we're doing.
judging us.
Making sure it runs smoothly.
Right. Supervisors.
Okay. So today, we will be discussing Chapter 10 of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the Marauders Map.
Yes.
So make sure that you have read the chapter. You're ready to dive into the pool of details with us.
You are Tiffany today.
I know. And before we go, we're not going to do social media quite yet. We are going to talk about the tea leaves that we read 2 weeks ago
Wait.
that I don't remember about.
Tea leaves and talons?
Yes.
Who had the talons that night?
So legitimately read tea leaves.
It was fun.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So we did the whole loose tea thing. I've never drank tea before, like with just the leaves in there. I always like have it in something.
Oh,
So
usually when you're not drinking tea, like not trying to read tea leaves, they have like a little like saucer and you pour the tea into the thing and then it catches the little
Yeah.
leaves so you don't get them in your mouth.
But it was actually really tasty.
it was,
Yeah, it was good
tasty,
tea.
and I didn't put any sugar in it. It was just straight tea, and it was delish.
Yeah.
But
We each had different teacups, which I think was very reminiscent of Trelawney.
yeah,
Yeah.
And we
So-
sipped some tea.
yeah. Do we want to go like one by one, just minimal what we remember about each person's tea leaves?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind
I
of told
think-
you a little bit about what you read in Katie's. So Sarah read Katie's, Katie read Sarah's. I read Ezra's, and Ezra read mine. So do you want to go first since you don't remember that much about it?
Sure. I don't honestly remember what I even saw in Katie's. Maybe like a rat,
You said a crab and a rat.
crab. But a lot of the things that I did see, like, just had to do with like she was going to travel a lot. That was
Which
the main
is-
thing, which is true. 'Cause
It's
It's
really
true.
true this year.
yeah.
And
So
then-
sorry that it's really boring and I don't remember.
It's
But
not
it's cool
boring.
because like it was
Everything
it
I said was
real.
like, yeah.
It was like, oh, that's actually happening. Like that's
Yeah.
so cool. Everything you were saying, and then you would look it up and you'd be like, oh, it has to do with travel. Like,
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds about right.
/ I'm jealous because I want to travel.
Yeah.
You can come with me
I
since you
wish.
read my tea leaves.
Hey, girl. Take Megan off. I'll be more fun.
No.
So I saw a like roaring lion
In
in
Sarah's.
Sarah's cup. So that was associated with like it's a sign of a big change. It requires leaving something behind that has happened, like closing the doorway of an outdated work and beginning something new.
I would like that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. It could also be like a plunge into a new career or like just something new.
That'd be really cool if that actually happened.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Ezra's tea leaves, the most prominent thing that I saw was a crescent moon. And it says that crescent moons indicate prosperity and fame. And if they're blurry, it means difficulties will be solved. And his was a little bit because like it kind of looks like there's a face in it almost. So it's not like a perfect crescent
Oh, I
moon.
see it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
We took
So-
pictures.
Yeah.
it means difficulties might be solved. And then also, like in the teeny tiny little leaves, I saw a squirrel. I don't know what that means. And an angel,
That can be kind of
which
squirrely.
could mean someone's watching over you. And I also saw an S. So I don't know what that
For
means.
Superman, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my turn, right?
Yeah.
Question for you guys. So when you read these tea leaves, are you you're reading your future? You're like, is that what you're kind
I
of
think
looking
that it-
for? Is it?
I mean,
it just more about who
could
you
be,
are?
Potentially.
Oh, okay.
It could
You're
be
not-
future, or it could just be like about you in general, I believe.
Okay.
But I think some of it is like, yeah, you're reading into the future. Because if you think about back to the episode that we talked about tea leaves, like
Yeah.
Harry's, I mean, yeah, okay, so he has the Grim, which is
Not the
definitely
Grin.
You have the Grim.
which is definitely like looking into the future, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I
okay.
think so.
Well, I was just kind of worried because as I was drinking my tea, I kind of swallowed some of your leaves. So I wasn't,
Oh.
does that swallow your future? I wasn't sure if I. I feel bad now.
I will say, I think that we put too much tea leaves in there because you're only supposed to put a pinch, but we don't know what we're doing.
I did put a little.
I
was a
loved
little
it. I
extra
think
that
I
day.
think we could do it again.
Yeah,
I was
it's
seeing-
fun.
I'm just kidding.
Guys, it was amazing. Actually, I was amazed at how much stuff I saw. I was like, oh, holy cow! I found a cat, which is
Which
cool because you
is
guys are
me.
cat people, you
Yeah.
know. The turtle, which was talking about like. Also, mine, like the guide that I had, it was if it was up by the rim or on the top of the cup versus mid rim versus in the bottom, it meant different things.
Oh, that's,
So that was
yeah,
kind of
that's
cool
neat.
to think about where it was inside the cup. And then the craziest thing that I saw, this is no joke. I have a picture. If you want, did I send that picture to you?
Yeah.
Okay, we can post that if you want. It's Taylor Swift essentially doing the
heart with her
heart
hands.
with her hands.
That's
right?
like her thing. For anyone
And
who doesn't
I
know.
swear to you, that's exactly. I literally was
It
like,
looked- it was
oh
weird.
my gosh, there it is. It was a hand coming in, and it was. I mean, am I making that up?
No, I saw it.
Sarah, am I making that up?
Did
What?
you remember seeing it? It was like two hands in the shape of a heart.
I feel like I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
But
craziness what happened.
What happened?
afterwards.
I met her like literally a week after we did that. So that was
just,
pretty cool.
it was so crazy because when that happened, I was thinking back.
'Cause,
I'm
you
like,
know, yeah, like
I
you're
saw it.
reading
I
it.
foresaw it.
and like I know that I'm going to the
What if I
concert.
wouldn't have saw? Do you remember I saw all those other things and then like
Yeah.
I saw that I was ready to put my
It
cup
was like
down.
the end.
Yeah, I was like, that's all I can see. And then I was like, wait, what is that? You know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's two hands coming together. I'm like, that's T Swift.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is.
right there. That's her hands in my cup. What the? you
And
know,
if
your cup.
anybody,
sorry, I wish
if
they were
anybody
mine.
doesn't know, the three people. Not that I don't love her, but my love cannot compare to the other three people on this table right now.
And I know that there are listeners who are probably like, "Oh my god, I hate her so much," and you know that's fine. I won't judge you.
That's a lie. She will.
Totally.
She's judging you
but
right now.
literally am in love with her.
Also, fun fact: all three of these people, not including myself, have met her.
Yep.
I'm the only one. And when Tiffany comes back, I
And-
won't be so alone.
All three of these people got handpicked by her mother to meet
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man.
So fun story.
Just so you know, I mean, I actually caught her when she tripped in the carpet, so she's
He-
still
he
here
got a
because
kiss.
of me. You
this
know.
is true. Thank you so much for saving her life.
You're welcome.
So that I could meet her.
You're welcome.
Years later.
Oh man.
All right, social media.
Social media.
Okay, so Swish and Flick Podcast can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're Swish and Flick Podcast on Facebook and Swish Flick Cast on Twitter and Instagram. Also, make sure you head on over to YouTube and subscribe because not only is our podcast posted there, but vlogs are as well when we decide to post them.
Like
you can,
coming up puff pastry.
Well,
right, we actually
Yeah.
legitimately have 2 or
Yep.
3 vlogs planned
Yeah.
for sure.
Well,
They are coming.
We have
I
one ready to
swear.
go.
We just need to upload it.
Yeah.
It'll happen today, I promise, guys.
Okay.
Also, you can join us on Patreon for exclusive access to the Felix Files, our bi-monthly bonus episodes. And if you want to learn more about the different support levels and rewards, you can go to patreon.com/swishflickcast. Shout out and huge thank you to all of our current patrons. You make the podcast possible with your support. And then lastly, make sure that you check out our website, swishflickcast.com, to check out all of the information on Swish and Flick compiled into one beautiful, glorious place. And you can also find all of our brand new merchandise, which we might have some launched this weekend for our anniversary.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
So, yeah.
exciting.
Awesome.
All right. Weekly profit news.
This is big.
Huge.
Literally.
Literally
huge.
huge. Build your own Hogwarts castle with Legos. Newest. Biggest Harry Potter set.
What if-
6,020 pieces, guys. 6,00020 pieces of Hogwarts goodness.
Hey,
Thanks.
because he knows Star Wars stuff. How many pieces is the Millennium Falcon?
7,000 something.
Oh, shoot.
It's 7,000
I'm like, I
something.
can't believe Megan knew.
Yeah, way to go, Megan. I just,
Yeah.
Are you even a fan?
She's a closeted Lego fan.
No, I'm a closeted Star Wars.
Oh, do you want to hear
What's that?
something funny? That because I love Ed Sheeran. He was on Graham Norton once, and he was saying
Charlie?
Charlie Weasley. He was talking
We
about.
haven't talked about him in a long time. Sorry,
I keep
go
my
ahead.
love for him on the DL
Oh, okay.
because he's getting married, and I don't want her to feel jealous of me.
I have a feeling T Swift might get engaged, and I will cry that day.
You're married.
But she's my one rule breaker.
That's what
Maybe
Meg
you can-
claims.
that's yeah.
Has not had the
Can't you
stamp
guys
of
both
approval.
marry her? Isn't that like a? Can't you
It's
just-
illegal.
I'll marry your cats.
oh my gosh!
Don't start that.
Oh my!
I'm kidding.
Meredith, I'm coming for
Wait,
you.
going back to my original story about Legos, he was talking about
Lego
how he
house.
literally had a girl, he took her on a date and they made Legos together or something like that.
That's
cool.
Like
amazing.
years ago. But he's like, yeah, when you're an adult, he goes, yeah, I bought Legos. He's like, because what parent's gonna be like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna buy you this couple $100 Lego set. He's like, rightfully, no parent's gonna do that. So as a grown adult with my own money, I'm going to. So he bought the big. I think he said he bought the ship from Pirates of the Caribbean, and he
Ooh.
might have bought something from Star Wars. I could be lying, but yeah, I think that's hilarious.
So for a little bit more details on the Hogwarts castle, it's literally it's like a scale model of if you see pictures of the one in the Warner Brothers studio tour in Levsden Studios, they put this one in front of it and it is really close. And leading up to this, Lego has released quite a few different versions of Hogwarts, but they always just release sections of the castle. They've never done one big release of the castle before. So, yes.
Are the sections, could they become a castle, or is this a whole
It's
separate thing?
the sections that they release, you can put them together, but it doesn't form something like this.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, this is just very detailed. So you get the big castle, and then you also get a ton of characters, but the characters are actually smaller than normal. They only fit on one Lego peg instead of 2.
Oh, cute.
And because there are so many different little rooms in here that you build, you build the Chamber of Secrets, you build Moaning Myrtle's bathroom.
What?
You build Umbridge's office, the potions classroom, the Great Hall, the staircases. There's even an astronomy tower.
So you guys are getting this, right?
Of course we are.
Okay, all right.
So just
get-
randomly, can I just tell you, I went to look at Katie's computer, I want to see. I have a link.
I saw you do that, and then you gave up. You're like, wait.
You also get the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom,
Yes.
Professor Dumbledore's office, the Devil's Snare Chamber from Sorcerer's Stone, and the Goblet of Fire.
There's stuff on the
It says
grounds,
also,
too.
Its grounds feature Hagrid's hut, the Whomping
Woo-hoo.
Willow, the actual Chamber of Secrets, boats, creatures, and all sorts of Hagrid groomed greenery.
I love that Moaning Myrtle's floating on the wall.
I know. And you also get the 4 Hogwarts founders,
It's
which is awesome.
amazing.
The Great
Awesome.
Hall looks so cool.
Dude, Gryffindor
I just,
looks
I'm obsessed.
awesome.
So
Slytherin kinda
cool.
looks bad.
Bad.
Lucky guys. I wish we, just get it. We'll
You
build it
could,
together.
I was gonna say you could help us put it together.
Well, couldn't you guys
How
do
long
like
do you think
a?
it's gonna take us?
So Tiffany has this glorious idea of us filming a vlog of us putting it together, and
And
I
then
don't
speeding it
think
up?
that I have
speed-
the heart to tell her it's probably going to take a couple days.
I think it's gonna take longer than
Yeah.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while.
You could do it over a couple of days though, and just stop the.
That's true. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But it'll be awesome. And it's so it's set to be available August 15th if you're a VIP Lego member, but September 1st it becomes available to everybody.
Dang.
How appropriate.
And it comes in at a cool $399, folks.
Wait a second. There's something called a VIP Lego member. That's a thing.
I bet you Ed Sheeran's part of it.
Oh
It's a
my.
thing. I also love in this article, this is like Entertainment Weekly in the very beginning. It says here, Hogwarts, or to the subsection of readers who craved the wizarding world in buildable block form, the Grand Castle was the ultimate construction dream since the first wave of Harry Potter Lego sets in 2001, inspiring 4 distinct models over the years, with the biggest castle clocking in at 1,290 pieces. Until now, Squibs.
Shout out to Squibs!
Shout out to
Oh
Squibs.
my gosh.
So yeah, it is 6,020 pieces for anybody who cares, and this also like is part of the collection that has already come out. There's like a whole bunch of pieces, like new pieces. There's the Quidditch pitch. There's actually other pieces of Hogwarts Castle. It's kind of like the older ones that I was talking about, where it's like pieces. You get Lupin.
I need it.
Yeah, I need
it!
So like this is literally the mecca of all Lego sets, and I'm buying it
Yes.
for sure.
Where's it gonna stay once it's built?
I don't know. Maybe we'll buy 2.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Swish and Floyd keeping Lego in business.
We need to like have our space. You know what I mean?
I know. We need to like rent out an office and have it be Swish and Flick headquarters.
Yeah, can we get like a studio going? Come on, guys.
Yes.
When did it become a we?
Yeah.
No, I just meant
since when are
we
you?
as in y'all. That's cool, guys. I hear it as. You know what? That might have been the cue right there for me. I'm out. I'm leaving the podcast. I'll see you guys.
I told
Have
them we're
fun.
not gonna talk to him anymore.
But
That's
I
a
need him
lie.
for this next part.
What next part?
I need
Oh,
you
yeah,
What
what
is
it's
the
your
next
turn.
part?
after. the-
Oh, recap.
Thank
time.
you.
I always forget. I'm sorry. I always.
It's because you're
This-
not Tiffany.
and you're
It's
not a
fine.
real
yeah,
Swisher,
and I'm
so
not really good at the.
He's the OG Swisher. He helped start Swish
That's right.
up.
What are you talking about? I'm the first. Are you kidding me? I'm the first. All
He
right.
legitimately is the first ever fan.
Megan's gonna kill you
Why?
because
What?
you keep touching your mic.
You're not supposed to do that.
No,
You can hear it when you.
No, you
she
can't.
yelled at me.
No, you can't. Can you?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Let me just.
Oh my God.
Sorry about that. I'm gonna get smacked.
You're
I'm gonna get-
editing this episode.
I'm gonna get. Oh, all right.
All right, recap. So last time we had to endure, I'm sorry, Jess, a defense against the dark arts lesson from Snape, who was being really rude and really mean to my boy Lupin.
I
Just
like
saying,
that you said quite better. It just
quite rude
Yeah,
and mean
okay.
to dear Professor Lupin.
perfect, Professor Lupin.
Yes. Harry saw the Grim again during a very soggy Quidditch match, and he nearly died when he fell from his broom with 100 Dementors showing up on the field. And he also heard some chilling things from his past.
That was his mom.
All right,
Spoiler.
Debbie.
Sorry.
Wow.
My name is not Debbie.
Yeah, but you're being Debbie Down over there, talking
Wow.
about mom screaming.
Wow, she dead. I love Lily, but she's dead.
Ooh,
Ouch.
gosh. All right, so Harry's still recovering from his splintered heart, but Lupin is back in class and is able to give him some news that makes him feel better. Christmas is close upon us, and there's another Hogsmeade weekend, and this time Harry finds a way to get there, and he learns a lot of his past from a trip to Madame Rosemertals. I feel like I said that incorrectly, but
Rosmerta.
No.
Rosemerta.
I'm thinking of the
Rosmerta.
sentence, not her name.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Whoops.
Well, right, let's go to Ezra. He's going to talk about...
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Florence.
I think he should try to do it. enough.
she is. She's back. Florence is back.
You seriously sound like Billy Madison.
Don't
I
fall out of your
Oh,
chair.
good.
I'm sorry. Oh. And to
Can
those
you
of
be
you,
Florence's brother?
Hey, hey.
What would her brother's
would-
name be?
yeah.
I don't know.
You're gonna have to let me know.
Fred, maybe
Wait,
Florence
no,
and Fred.
Florine, like Florine Fortescue.
No.
Florian.
No.
Oh yeah, Florian.
No.
I
We'll
don't
think
sound that
about it.
sophisticated, so it's got to be Fred's starting to sound pretty good.
It needs to be an F name.
Yeah. So
We'll think
Frank?
of it.
Frank.
Frank, I like
Frank
Frank.
and Florence.
I
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's Frank,
Frank.
and Florence. I still don't know if we have a last name though,
Yeah,
because
that's cool.
I said one once, so I don't remember what it was. Something with a Mick. Was it? I don't remember.
Oh wow.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I think basically the summary that Sarah read for us covers this week. Everything you need in there
Does
is
this mean that you didn't do your notes for the episode?
good. I actually had someone did some notes for me. My good friend Jessica hopped in here and did some notes. Thank goodness.
Did you even read them before starting this?
No, I have not read these
No,
notes.
awesome.
So, but basically, I mean, last night I got a text reminder from my good Hufflepuff friend Katie, who just said around midnight, "Hey, friendly reminder here. Don't forget to do your notes."
He did.
And then kind of and I totally. Well, I was actually podcasting with Lane, and so
I see
yeah.
what's more important.
No,
I mean, yeah, should
I
be.
was going to do them, and so, in all honesty, I was sitting there, and I said, "Okay, I'm sitting here at 1:44 in the morning. I got nothing, and this is legit." I was sitting there like I don't know what to do, and
When
Say it
then
is
wasn't
Tiffany
you.
coming back?
yeah, why am I up so late? What am I doing to myself, etc. Yada yada. When is Tiffany coming back? Not soon enough," said Florence and Sarah. So, anyways,
Just so funny.
it's the worst. That's the point.
No, but it's so good though. It's so bad, it's good.
Right. Okay. Right. So, anyways, finally, I was sitting there last night, and something really stuck out to me. Okay. What?
I don't get this saying.
Which one?
This is the cow that breaks the camel's back.
Isn't it the straw?
You don't know any.
That's
I
my
like
mo-
this better.
That's a
Because the other day he
reoccurring.
was talking about, he's like, when life hands you oranges. I'm like, that's not the same.
Guys, that's my thing. I like to make up my own. Okay.
I like
so,
it.
Let me tell you, a cow would break a camel's back. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
probably-
sure. So I think it's a
Probably
little
break
more.
a lot of things back.
Yeah. Well, So, anyways, I guess Potter. We should talk about Potter and what happened in the book. His Nimbus 2000 is gone.
It is?
It's
What?
gone.
It's not
What?
gone.
No, it's
just
gone.
smashed.
It's just
Smithereens.
it's dead.
It's gone. Kind of like Goku's Nimbus Cloud. For those of you who are, it's gone. It never
Who is
shows up again.
Goku?
Goku
You don't know who that
is a
is?
Saiyan warrior
From
He
Dragon
goes
Ball Z.
Super Saiyan.
I never watched Dragon Ball Z.
I
He
had a
actually
small
goes Super Saiyan God
obsession.
at one point. He just, Matt would be proud of me right now that I'm remembering the Nimbus Cloud and all this kind of stuff. So pretty cool.
Did Matt write that?
Yeah, there's
sentence
more
for you?
levels than what I mentioned. No, I was just.
Oh, okay.
He was snoring so loud last night that it
Oh.
hit me.
People are
Goku,
gonna hate you.
Nimbus Cloud. So, anyways, Nimbus Cloud, the Nimbus broom's gone, right? So it's disappeared. We'll never see it again. It's gone with the
Gone
wind.
with the wind.
It's gone with the wind. As in here today. Here today, gone today. This was me last night at 2 o'clock in the morning, just so you guys know. Gone but never forgotten. Harry even tried to wish on a shooting star, but it's gone, replaced with a shooting star. So, in case you guys didn't understand, the Nimbus is gone. It actually says
Oh,
it's like
is it gone?
it's out of here. It's gone.
It's gone?
Yep. Never
What
to
happened
be.
to it? Did it go with the wind?
It went and
It's gone with the wind.
Yeah.
man.
It got whomped.
Can they really not? It did get whomped. Can they really never be replaced though? I mean,
No, it's.
I think
Isn't
it
that
would be
sad?
like. I
Because
think
it
it'd be
was
a
just-
difference. Like if it got cracked in half, like if it broke
Yeah.
in half, but it's literally splintered
Splintered.
into
Not only
pieces.
that, but
Yeah.
like it got broken by another magical thing.
Yes, I think
So
that might be a big
that's
factor,
probably
too.
Part of
Ah,
why they
trump
can't
card.
fix it
So like,
too.
what happens if like I'm a witch, I'm a magical thing, and I break something? Does that affect it?
You're screwed. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, just curious.
Wow. Good question. So, anyways, he does. It just mentions. Oh, it mentions that his broom was kind of like his friend. It was like losing a
His
friend.
first
Yeah.
friend.
It's like a big
in
loss.
The magical world.
You know.
That's a lie.
I was gonna say that's so mean to Hagrid though. Like Hagrid was your first friend.
This is true.
Yeah. So, but he's sitting there, and actually, Oliver and team show up, and Oliver doesn't.
Oliver's not there.
He's not. Not at first, but he comes back eventually.
Correct.
Yeah. So this is after the first visit, which was in the. I thought this was in the last chapter.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Sarah, I read the beginning of this chapter.
Oh, but you
okay?
didn't do your own notes.
Jessica helped me. Okay. All right. But no, he does come back and he says he doesn't blame Harry, right? I mean, that's the whole thing.
In a very dead voice.
But does he blame him though?
You
Somewhere
for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
deep
I
down
think.
there on the inside.
Yeah.
I think
you
he's
know?
just super
Oliver
bummed.
literally only cares about Quidditch.
Yeah.
He does not care about Harry's
Spoiler alert,
well-being.
he's a very happy camper at the end of this book.
Spoiler.
Well, that's a
He
major
is.
spoiler.
He is very happy at the end of this book.
He is. So
In my head, I'm
anyways.
like, what happened? I don't remember.
But he's bothered by that loss, but he's also he seems kind of grim, like something else is something just sorry, interruption on the podcast here. We thunder
It
upstairs.
kind
I'm
of
not
sounded
sure.
like an erumpant.
It did.
Sorry.
Wow. So anyways, he's kind of grim. He's hearing his mother's voice. And Megan, you made light of this earlier, and I just don't know what's up with. I mean, he hears his mother's voice.
This
I'm a
part in the
Slytherin, I have
book,
no feelings. I'm joking.
It is like heart wrenching though.
Literally, it's Lily. Like, you guys know I'm sad about it.
Yeah, I know.
Well, like,
I know
and then
are.
you see later
It's-
on, he talks about it. He almost doesn't want the Dementors to go because he wants to hear his mom's voice
I
again.
know. How sad.
'Cause
is
that's all he
that?
knows.
Like, literally, all he wants to hear is
Ah.
her scream.
My heart just clenched.
because
no,
yeah.
he sorry.
No, it's just because it's what he can. It's what he has.
He like fights with it in his head. Like, I want to hear my mom's voice because I've never heard it. But like, do I really want to hear her die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
it's
part where
something.
he's describing like because Harry knew who that screaming voice belonged to now. That whole paragraph gives me the worst.
I don't
chills.
have my book, but I wonder what my notes are in it.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Pass that down.
they're terrible.
Right. So, anyways, just kind of a moment of this chapter. It kind of starts off with that type of tone, and then as you get to the good parts, which I didn't get assigned this week. Don't know why I always.
Do you want me to say what I wrote about this? I said effed up.
It
Yeah.
is.
I also said, yeah, right about what's his face not being mad at Harry.
You should release that annotated version for people because there's some pretty crazy stuff written in the margins of that book. So anyways, Monday, we return to school, and it's actually sort of like this return to normalcy, right? He comes back, and he's just sort of distracting himself. The Grim, he keeps seeing the Grim, right? So that's been on his mind. Malfoy's super pumped, right? About Hufflepuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that they lost. I don't know why I put that in there, that they won. Sorry. That they beat Gryffindor. Okay. And I just like little things like, I was thinking Ron sitting in there in was it potions class, right? And he's got is it a crocodile heart?
I think so.
Like it's something that happens real quick, and then he has a crocodile heart and he throws it and hits Malfoy in the face. Like a little, I don't know, I picture that. I'm just kind of like, good way to go, Ron. 50 points though from Gryffindor, but which was 50. I read last night, Sarah. In case you, thank you.
Oh, I did a bad
That
one.
wasn't
I beat
dead.
you
That
to
was
it.
dead.
It was 50 in set. Yep, you're right.
Okay, now stop me because I don't know where I kind of bleed into Megan's stuff here because the titles were kind of crazy. And according to Jessica, we are in Snape's lesson here, and this is great. I'm just going to read these because I don't know where this came from.
We're actually in Lupin's lesson.
That's what I said.
Oh.
They object to Snape teaching Lupin's lesson. Isn't that what I
There
said?
we go.
Well,
Yeah.
more so like the not the paragraph,
the homework.
yeah, the essay he made
Two
them.
rolls of parchment.
He tells them they don't have to do it though, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Hermione's all sad.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
like,
that's
I already
right.
did it.
Yeah.
Well, it was technically due that day, wasn't it?
I love how he's like, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Wait, he's
I
in
literally,
charge.
do you want to know what I wrote about Lupin? I
Yes.
go, Lupin is the greatest.
Yes.
Okay.
Facts.
He is.
True. Okay, next, what are the secrets of how cool Sarah is? That somehow is related to the chapter, isn't it? I think. So, and what are the secrets, guys?
I think they're locked in a chamber.
They're locked in. Thank God. Okay, we know Snape is doing this on purpose in the hope that all the students kind of figure out that Lupin is a werewolf, right? Is that what he's doing?
What?
What?
I wasn't
Did you just
aware of
spoil
that.
What?
You spoiled the whole book for me.
You're a life ruiner.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I had no
Guys.
idea.
It's not my fault.
I didn't do the essay, so I didn't know.
I didn't know. Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
Darn it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I made my eyes water.
Oh.
Someone's always crying on an episode of Swish and Flick.
Oh, I actually kind of like this. So this could be an instance that that Snape takes it. Not that I didn't like everything else Jessica wrote. I like everything that she wrote, but that Snape takes advantage of Hermione's reputation and relies on her in a sense to figure to figure it out and potentially release the fact that Lupin is a werewolf. That's actually, I like that. I think that's pretty.
What I like about Hermione though is that
I don't think she would do that, but maybe inadvertently she might have done that.
right.
Perhaps.
So like Snape is thinking he's like, oh, Hermione will figure it out and then it'll get released. But Hermione figures it out. She doesn't tell anybody. So like he relies on her reputation, but
Big
in reality,
reputation.
he really doesn't know.
Right,
anything about
but do you think that
Hermione.
might have been his motive? I mean, he might have actually, that might have been.
I think,
well,
yeah,
it was,
he wanted
obviously.
it to get out. He
yeah.
wanted somebody to figure it out. And of course, if anybody was going to figure it out
Right.
in that class, it would be Hermione.
Hermione, yeah.
But Hermione isn't the person that he thinks that she is because she does not release the information.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think she would though.
No.
Like I would have never thought that she would be that type of person. To
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Snape
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
wrong.
Well, I
He's
think
wrong.
I think just
Whoa,
Snape would
whoa.
try and grab it
You
any.
know, she is here. She might attack you.
He's wrong.
I mean, any chance Snape can get to like get Lupin out because it's kind of horrible to have him around for him. You know, he's gonna try and grasp at anything for
Yeah.
that,
Yep,
even if it didn't work that way.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting too. That the idea that Jessica, this is Jessica. By the way, great. These notes are great, and you're super cool. I just want you to. It does say Jessica is cool. So
It says cool.
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 So cute.
So after the lesson, Lupin wants to speak to Harry about just holds him up, wants to talk to him about the match and things that happen and whatnot. And the idea that Lupin might be a little guilty because of the Whomping Willow being out.
1,000%.
1,000%.
You know?
He definitely would take the blame for that.
Yeah, it just kind of feels
my heart.
responsible that
Like
that's-
literally, he takes blame for anything that even could slightly relate to him.
I literally
Yeah,
wrote that
yeah.
in the book. I'm like, probably also feeling super guilty. Basically, is what I wrote.
Wow.
Remus,
'Cause
it's
it's just
okay.
him.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
I just want to give him a little hug, but he'd just
Remy,
be boned by now.
it's
So
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call him Remy. Get over it.
Like no one questioned it. You're just like, get over it. It's fine.
Get over it.
And then so that's how their conversation starts there. But then Harry is super interested in Dementors.
Dementus,
Right.
Dementus.
Yeah. Well, actually, I forgot to mention Malfoy. In that he's faking. That he's pretending that he's falling off a broom in the lesson. That's why Ron, threw the crocodile heart in his face. So, that's definitely in his face. Right in class, people making fun of him for it. And he talks to Lupin about it, and basically, it's a quote here, a little nice quote that Jessica's pulled for me. It has nothing to do with weakness. The Dementors affect you worse than the others because they are
There
whores. There are whores. Thank you. Wow. Stop. My mind is so terrible. Okay. Because there are whores in your past that the others don't have. Lupin quote. I'm sorry. I am so 5 years old. So anyways, but it's true, right? There are bad things that have happened. Stop it, Sarah. Why do you do this to me during episodes where I can't focus? Okay. They have a good little
You look a little
conversation.
bit red right
I'm a
now.
little. I'm as red as this. I'm as red as-
He just wants to
Hold
smash
Hold
his
on,
shirt
hold
and
on.
Mike.
Beverly, are you red?
What?
No. Okay.
She's good. Okay. If Beverly's good, then I'm good. We're good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable here on the podcast. So, but anyways, Lupin does try to make him feel more comfortable and talks to him about, the idea that he's gone through a lot more than, your average kiddo coming to Hogwarts. Yeah, Katie.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't think you got there yet.
No, I think Katie, if you didn't notice, that's like the end of my notes.
Oh,
So,
well, I just think
please
it's-
fill
No.
in.
It's
the end
so
of
Jessica's notes. Thank you.
it's so sad because like he makes this motion to like grab his shoulder,
Yeah.
Oh
like
my
an uncle
gosh.
would,
Yes.
because
That-
he has history with Harry that Harry knows nothing about,
It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
and could have been
heart-wrenching.
so much more.
Yeah.
And then
kinda
he
does
just like
that,
thinks like I shouldn't because
Yeah.
he doesn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really sad.
another thing that happens. I don't know. I can't remember exactly where it was, but maybe you can find it in the book. His suitcase he's packing up, like almost drops it at the mention of something. I don't know if it was the
Serious.
Sirius,
Harry says serious, and he like
and he like almost
slips.
drops his.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's flustered here. There's a lot going on.
The whole thing, like just Remus's whole story is so gut wrenching.
Guys, let's not. I'm gonna cry.
But literally though, like Tiffany called me when those like mini books came out, and like a lot of people don't know like his whole thing.
Yeah.
Like where it's just. We'll get into it when we talk about him on the Felix Files, but oh my
He's
god,
the next character,
I
guys.
just want to give him all of the cuddles in the entire world.
Me too.
He's
Like,
the next
well, like, let's
character
be-
on the Felix Files, and I'm like, I don't want to start it.
I know.
Well, like
Like,
because
we
let's be
have
honest.
something else planned to do because, like, we're not ready to start Remus yet.
Well, like when we talked about like Lily and James, like I cried the entire two
That was-
podcasts.
yeah,
So,
except
like,
for the
this
fact
time-
that, like, the second half of that podcast we lost and then we had to redo it, so.
Well, this time around, I
That's
think
not
we're all
gonna
gonna be
happen.
crying. Katie's nodding. You can't see that because we're on a
She's
podcast.
choking up right now.
I speak in nods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, ugh.
For those of you that are watching, Katie is in tears. So
Sobbing.
I'm sobbing. I
Sorry.
need tissues.
All right.
I need
Gonna
tissues
make
for my
myself cry
issues.
again. All right, it's green. That's
It's
me.
green.
That's me.
Green.
Okay. So, Lupin and him are having this heart-to-heart. So Lupin is promising Harry that he will do his best to try to teach him how to defend himself against the Dementors. And so, sorry, I just kind of like jumped around with these notes a little bit. So, like, after that is over, then it's kind of just this little, like, passing of time. Like, oh, okay, this is
Come
time moving into
downtime.
winter.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
it's
when
just like her,
Simba
like, telling
and
you a bunch of stuff
Pumbaa
at once.
Would you
and
say
Timon
that
on the log.
winter is coming?
Winter is coming.
Oh,
Yes.
Katie.
So we find out that Ravenclaw flattened Hufflepuff in the last
Woo-hoo.
match. So Gryffindor
Lame.
is back in the running for the House Cup. And I also want to point out here that I feel almost. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Look at the lights.
Watermelon. Say watermelon or look at the light or something like that.
It's
Yeah.
gone.
Look into my eyes.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
It's back.
Ezra is the anti-sneeze.
It kind of is back a little bit. Okay, we're good.
Sorry.
So Harry. Okay, so I want to point out here that I love that So we know, or at least I think that we know. I think we've mentioned it before, but Jo hated writing Quidditch, so she didn't put as much in the books as maybe like she could have. And I think it's important to point out here that she's mentioning Quidditch again here, which must mean that Quidditch is important in this book for some reason, or like something good is going to happen with it. And I think that saying that she's actually telling us again about the outcome of the Ravenclaw Hufflepuff Quidditch match, because like normally she would like mention it and then it just like wouldn't, like we wouldn't talk about it again, and then Quidditch would be over. So like something is going to happen with Quidditch. Yes.
I hate to interrupt because I know it's green, but
This is not your color.
this is not my color, but I just have to say something, and I think Katie will agree with me that we're supposed to read between the lines here.
Yeah.
And if you read, Cedric felt awful about what happened.
Yeah.
I kind of think they just gave that match up, Katie. I think they just kind of,
Hufflepuff would do that.
yeah, we would do that. I mean, so
would.
like it wasn't right for us to win, and so here
Oh,
you go.
saying giving
We'll
up
put-
that match?
Yeah,
No.
we'll give yes. I mean, give it to Ravenclaw. Psh, we're good.
Cedric
a
might have
party
been
afterwards.
feeling really
I'm just
guilty,
saying, I
didn't play
think
his best.
It's
I'm
it's
gonna
up
tell
for
you right now,
interpretation,
no.
and it just kind of.
Ravenclaw
Cedric?
just beat you guys because y'all aren't as good as us. End of discussion.
Kidding me? Have you seen Cedric
I
on a
mean,
broom?
at this point, is
Oh,
Cho
have you seen me on a
still
broom?
is Cho Seeker yet?
I don't know.
She might be.
I don't know.
I
And
don't
that might be.
remember.
Oh, there you go. He's love struck.
probably
Sees
just
this pretty
flashed him a little
seeker girl.
smile.
You know, yeah.
True. We're
He's
only
kinda
one
like,
book away from
yeah.
them going to the old ball together.
Okay.
Okay, so because of Gryffindor being back in the running, Harry is in a much better mood again. And he's also talking a little bit about the Dementors and how like they're not seen like anywhere on the grounds anymore right now. They are completely
Yep.
staying at their post. They're not leaving. Dumbledore was super angry about it, and he basically scared them away from coming closer to the castle anymore.
Can you just imagine like a mad
Dumbledore,
Rageldor?
like, screaming at,
Rage.
yeah. So I wanted to read Jo's description of Christmas coming because I just love her words. So we're going to listen to me talk now.
Oh man.
Sarah. So 2 weeks before the end of term, the sky lightened suddenly to a dazzling opaline white, and the muddy grounds were revealed one morning, covered in glittering frost. Inside the castle, there was a buzz of Christmas in the air. Professor Flitwick, the charms teacher, had already decorated his classroom with shimmering lights that turned out to be real fluttering fairies. I love that. That's amazing. The students were all happily discussing their plans for the holidays. Both Ron and Hermione had decided to remain at Hogwarts. And basically, Harry thinks that that's because they're just doing it to keep him company, but he was very grateful about it. But I just love her words that she uses, like, Fluttering
Glittering.
fairies, glittering frost, opaline white, dazzling opaline white, and the muddy grounds were revealed. Yes.
I know I keep interrupting, and I'm sorry. Okay,
This
but
is the last straw.
Are
Get
you
out.
sorry?
It's the
this
last
is
cow on
this
the
is
camel's
last
back.
cow on the camel's back. So,
How many cows can you fit on a camel's back?
Lord, I don't know. Not enough. So the fairies, though, are they doing this willingly, or are they being held against their own
I was
will?
thinking the
You
same
know?
thing.
Like,
Well, here's my question. Are they actually like fairies that he's gathered up, or were they conjured, in which case they're not actually real and they'll
Okay.
just disappear in time anyway?
conjuring them, cool, all right. Yeah, I get that.
I
But
would
It says
think that they're-
real fluttering
Well,
fairies.
right. I mean, like, yeah, they could be real, but like they were conjured.
Meg, they're
But do
real to
they-
us.
I just, what would,
Are they real to you?
I don't
I
know.
a
thought
fair
the same
point.
thing.
Maybe they like it though. Maybe they're like, oh, I love
Is
Christmas time.
Flitwick
I just
running
want to-"
some like underground, fairy, black market thing? What's going on with Flitwick?
That is pretty terrible.
I will
know?
say,
I wouldn't doubt it.
in England, they call like what we do, like our Christmas lights or whatever.
They're called fairy
Mhm,
lights.
they're called fairy lights.
That's freaking adorable.
That's awesome. Except for the fairies, but whatever. Poor fairy.
If they're into it, cool. It's all about consent, my
I didn't know
friends.
if you wanted to talk. I was really. I was like, go ahead.
Okay, so on the last weekend of term, there was another Hogsmeade trip, but womp womp, HP's sad again because he can't go.
He's not invited to go to Hogsmeade because he didn't get his paper signed.
Exactly. So Hermione, I like that. Like Joe throws in little bits and bobs of things that are called fun things. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to speak
Miscellaneous
Right.
fun
like
stuff.
miscellaneous little fun facts about wizarding stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Things that are fun that happen on the page.
So like
that
Hermione says, and like I feel like this is a little bit random, but like Joe decides to put it in there so that we know that this is a thing. And Hermione says her parents would love tooth flossing string mints from Honeydukes. I
Yeah,
think that's
that
cool.
is
It's
actually
like
really cool.
Candy floss.
Can
Yeah.
you?
My mom would not like that as a hygienist. I just need to say that.
Do you floss your teeth with that?
I don't know. It says
I'd give it a
tooth
go.
flossing.
They're just mints, so maybe it's like
yeah, but
if you're
mints
just sucking
also
on
have
it.
sugar.
Yeah.
Maybe they're sugarless because they're for your teeth.
Maybe they're sugar free, in which case my mom would probably be okay with it. But anyway, I think that's cute, and that's what I wrote in the notes. Cute. So Harry decides that he's going to borrow which broomstick from Oliver because he needs to get another broom. He doesn't like the shooting star that he is riding.
because his
That
nimbus is gone.
His
Just
nimbus is gone in the wind.
What?
so you know.
It's
So
gone.
I wanted to pull up some information on the shooting star so that we can understand
Yes.
what this broom is about. Ron had a shooting star. Actually, at this moment in time, he has a shooting
Yeah.
star
Yep.
at home. It was a broomstick produced by Universal Brooms Limited in 1955, so it's super old at this point.
Whoa, Universal.
Yeah.
That's
At the time
cool.
of its release, it was the cheapest racing broom on the market. However, after initial good sales and popularity, the broom was found to lose height and speed as they aged. So clearly, this is not a good broom for a seeker. So,
Yep.
Hogwarts maintains a supply of them for flying lessons. Fred and George always complain that they always fly slightly to the left or that they would start to vibrate if one flew too high. And that's really all we know about them.
And Ron's was often outstripped by passing butterflies.
Yes. So clearly not a good broom for a seeker, like I said. So Harry has his witch broomstick and he's heading back to the common room when Fred and George pull him aside by the statue of a humpbacked one-eyed witch.
Yeah.
Does she just have one eye or one eye missing? Like, so she's got, you know what I mean? Does she
I
have
would
like a
think.
patch?
I think
Or
that.
is it just like a
well, if you
Lilo
go
from Futurama?
if you
Wow.
go based on
That's
what
good.
they did in the film and what is inside Hogwarts Castle at Universal Studios, she's missing an eye.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Yeah. You can actually see the statue of the humpbacked one-eyed witch at Universal Studios. It's
Orlando,
pretty cool.
Florida.
And probably Hollywood, I would assume. I don't know. And probably Tokyo.
I've never been there.
Are you guys sponsored by Universal?
I
What's going on?
wish.
I wish.
No.
Wouldn't that be like amazing?
Hello,
really would be.
Universal.
Hey,
Are you
Universal.
listening?
I give
Dear
you a lot of
Universal.
money. I have,
Please sponsor us.
yeah. So they say that they want to give him an early Christmas present, and it's just an old bit of parchment. And Harry's kind of like, what is this?
It's like when you're like grandma or someone gives you like a Christmas present and you're like, thanks, grandma, it's great. And you're really like, I'm never going to wear this or use it or whatever.
Right. And they say that this old bit of parchment is the secret to their success.
I can hear them in the movie
I
saying
know.
because they like do it like perfectly in synchronization.
Yeah. So Fred and George tell us how they acquired it, which I think is funny. So it was in their first year. They're in Filch's office after setting off a dung bomb. And don't they set off a second one when they're in there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so they're in there, and Filch is talking about his punishments, which I also think is funny to point out. So he goes from detention to disembowelment, which is quite the drastic difference in punishing. Yeah, and then they see a drawer in his office that says confiscated and highly dangerous.
Oh my God, they both had to have been like,
I
yes.
know, they're like, oh yeah, let's get in there. So they set off another dung bomb and then quickly reach in and just grabbed the first thing that they could, and it happened to be this.
It's crazy if you think about it because he confiscated the map when the Marauders were I almost said seniors when they were in their last year.
Yeah.
So it's been in his office all that time. That's a long
Right.
time.
And that's the first thing that they just reach in and grab.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder then how many things were actually in there that he considers confiscated. And I would think it would be a lot because I would think that he literally would think everything is highly dangerous. You know what I mean?
How many things in that drawer do you think are from the Marauders or specifically like Sirius and James?
A
Yeah.
lot.
I hope
well,
all of
probably.
it.
A lot.
And then I'm sure that friend George added to it.
Yeah.
You know? Or maybe they had their own drawer.
I think didn't they have their own drawer?
I
they
think
might
they
have
had their own
file.
File, yeah.
Like their own.
Like thick file or something
Yeah.
like that. I remember. Yeah.
So my question is, they tell him that he has to say, I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. How the heck did they figure that out?
I don't know.
I saw an amazing, someone on the group actually asked about this, and it was like, they like to think that the Marauders were giving them hints. And it was like, Mr. Prongs thinks, or solemnly swears you're very close to figuring this out. And it was perfect.
I like
agree
that.
with that.
Accepted
I feel
as
like
canon.
The Marauders would have helped them out.
Because
Yeah.
they would recognize a true rule breaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
look
You?
at that.
Jess, yes.
Jess, you're amazing.
I feel like they would recognize someone who's worthy of using the map.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Like
So-
not Snape. Sorry, Jessica.
Or Filch, clearly. But I want to know
Well,
how
Filch
the
he
heck.
can't use a wand. He's a squib.
Shout out to Squibs!
But I want to know, like, how he knew to confiscate that. Like,
Because Snape, they had it,
Oh, yeah.
like, not arranged, but like kind of set him up.
He
For,
tipped him
right.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we helped Snape help Filch confiscate it.
Snape.
Snape.
Severus Snape.
Dumbledore.
Oh, you're done, aren't you?
I'm done.
It's time for the
Hermione.
yellow.
Hermione.
Now she's done. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Ugh. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Ugh.
Oh my god. I'm honored to do this part. Thank you, Sarah.
I think I give you
For giving
anything
this to me.
do.
I
I'm like,
love
I'm
it.
gonna make it so Katie
I
can
love
talk
it.
about her favorite person.
So, yeah, Fred and George open this magic map. Messrs. Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs, purveyors of aids to magical mischief makers, are proud to present the Marauders Map.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Yes.
What color was the ink?
Green.
Oh.
Which is not correct in the
There's
movies.
something wrong with this bell. It's the
See?
bell.
Give it to me.
See?
No.
You told me there was
Nope.
nothing wrong with it, but there is.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's the way you're hitting it.
No.
It's the way you're hitting it. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well,
All
in
right,
case you guys
so
didn't know
we'll
we have a
ask
bell.
you to leave.
I
case you
can't
didn't
leave.
know.
I'm OG.
I mean, we can all do what we want. We're American citizens. We're free.
Okay.
Freedom rings. Like a bell.
Oh my god.
You're the teacher. Aren't you supposed to be like, stop touching
I'm
things?
about to assign a couple detentions up in here. I don't know what's going
Or
on.
just-
Disembowelment.
Disembowelment. Yeah.
Nope.
Is that a popular
That's
don't-
not
punishment
on
in
my list.
Columbus,
I don't think he
Ohio?
wants to go to
It's
jail.
not actually at all. So, you know.
All right, so
Baby time.
the Marauders Map.
Yes.
It was a map showing every detail of the Hogwarts grounds, but the truly remarkable thing were the tiny ink dots moving around it, each labeled with a name in minuscule writing. Astounded, Harry bent over it. A labeled dot in the top left corner showed that Professor Dumbledore was pacing his study.
Professor Dumbledore.
Oh, in his office? No, pacing?
You messed it up.
My bad. Oh, the caretaker's cat, Mrs. Norris, was prowling the second floor, and Peeves the poltergeist was currently bouncing around the trophy room.
Do you think that the ghosts have dots, or is Peeves the only one because he's a poltergeist and that's different?
I feel like the ghosts. Well, maybe it's a movieism because I'm thinking like I think you see like nearly headless Nick floating around. But again, I don't know. I think that might be just a movieism. I'm not sure.
Can we talk about four
Ooh.
15 to 16-year-old teenage boys
Making
creating this?
I know. Really quick.
Wait a second.
If
Did they
Mrs.
create it?
Yes.
They made it.
Are you even a fan?
No, I'm not. I guess because my question was later on, like this
Where
is
did they get this?
because Harry talks about being warned, about things that can think for themselves,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, how that's a high bit of magic, isn't it? I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
it just proves to you that they're talented. You know what I mean? They could be ridiculous and make a lot of
Well, it's
bad
said
choices, but
How
yeah.
smart Sirius and James are, even though they
Well,
constantly joke around.
and Remus, and
Obviously,
and
that was the
Peter-
given.
Peter probably just was like, yeah, make it red
Peter
or
was
whatever
like,
color it is.
Sweet,
That was his
here I
input.
am. I showed up for the day, put my name on it.
I brought rat poison. Oh wait.
There's always one in every group
Hold
project.
on, I have a question.
Yes.
If Mrs. Norris is on there, is like every single person's pet on there?
Maybe.
That's a lot.
I know.
You don't think so?
The owlery is just like
Bev
full
disagrees.
of names.
Maybe Mrs. Norris just because like she's a special figure.
Was
Ugh,
she
I'm
around
just
when the
kidding.
Marauders were there? Because she
I'm
would get a
sure.
special dot because she rats people out.
But if we
She
go with the theory
rats
that
people
she
out,
was
yeah.
like wlike remember we had the theory that she was like
Oh,
a lady
she was like a person.
person beforehand.
So that would mean that potentially Nagini would be on there as well because we have a theory that she's Maledictus from
True.
Fantastic Beasts.
Bev is behind Katie, like, yes, I agree.
So Harry also realized that the map showed a set of passages he'd never seen or entered before, and many of them seemed to lead where?
Right into Hogsmeade. Sorry, I ruined it. for
No,
you.
that's fine.
Hogsmeade. Right into Hogsmeade.
Harry can't go because he didn't get his paper signed.
So he's gonna sneak through the passages.
He's gonna
And
sneak.
there's 7.
Oh, I'm gonna sneak right past you.
Oh my god. There's 7 in all, and Filch knows about 4.
Yep.
There's one behind the mirror on the 4th floor, but that one's caved in, and there's another where the Whomping Willow was planted. So
I
you
wonder
can't use
why
that one
was
anymore.
there.
My question is, does he know that it's caved in? Like, Harry, can you see that on the map?
No, Fred
I-
and George
Fred and George
told
told
him.
him, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
But
remember.
the last one leads right into the cellar of Honeydukes.
Honeydukes.
Some perfect quotes from Fred and George. Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. We owe them so much.
So does Harry.
Little do you know, you're gonna be BFFs with 2 of them,
Right?
Harry literally owes his life.
Until they die.
Whoa!
Sorry,
Noble men
I'm
working.
not happy about it, but it happens.
Wait, who?
Seriously?
Oh.
Oh, God. What does Ron say in the movie where he's like, oh, you're going to suffer, but you're going to be happy about it? You're going to suffer, but we're not going to be happy about
But
it.
that's true. I love it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Am I allowed to talk now?
Yes.
Thank you. Noble men working tirelessly to help a new generation of lawbreakers.
Yeah.
So don't forget, you have to use Mischief Manage to wipe it. Otherwise, anyone can read it. And they both leave smirking in a satisfied sort of way. So I think it's really cute that they're just like, we know everything that's on this map. Harry needs it way more.
Yeah.
Why do you think they feel the need to give this to Harry over Ron?
Because Ron doesn't need to sneak around the way Harry does, I feel.
I think that, like, so they clearly know that Ron is their brother.
Do they?
What?
Do
Stupid
they
thing
know
to
that?
say.
I don't.
What I mean to say is, like, so Ron's their brother, and I think that, so now Harry's been in their lives for, like, almost 3 years, 2.5 years, right? And they consider Harry a brother, so they're thinking, like, realistically.
They'll share it.
Yes. He's going to share it with Ron, but, like, Harry needs it more, and Harry needs, like, more of a family figure than Ron does, because he's surrounded by family all the time.
Yeah.
So
I
the
like that.
Marauders map is like a family figure.
No. Saying,
Oh, Fred and George are. I was like, that makes no sense.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
they just know that Harry needs it more. Because clearly he can't get to Hogsmeade because no one signed his permission slip, where Ron's had 2 parents that were able to sign it for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Harry's standing there. He's all excited. But as Ezra brought up, he remembers something that Mr. Weasley said. Never trust anything that can think for itself if you can't see where it keeps its brain. But he's like, friend George's been using it for years, and I'm Harry James Potter, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
The joke is gone.
No, do it. I want the joke.
Give me the joke.
No, Sarah's. I have to like explain it though. No,
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
so that makes it not funny. Next.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's super cool that the map doesn't just like show you people. It shows him how to get through that passageway. Yes, Ezra.
But he doesn't ask for it, though, does
No.
he? He's just confused, and it just appears and says, "It's a
It
little."
can read your mind.
Yeah.
Probably.
And it takes you step by step too. It like shows him tapping his little wand, tapping the back. So Harry
Right.
taps the back, and
Right.
then nothing happens. So he looks back, and it says Descendium.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he has to do that step, and then it works. It's kind of cute.
How many things do you think? I mean, they talk about how much it taught them. I mean, how many things did it teach them? You
Yeah.
know? Like, I mean, trying to imagine pranking the school and doing different things. They might have learned new spells. You know,
Yeah.
different stuff. I don't know.
So he climbs up into the witch statue, and he slides down a stone slide. It's a very narrow, low, earthly passageway, and it twisted and turned like the burrow of a giant rabbit. So there's there's Joe again giving us like just cool little nuggets that she does.
I love
Yeah.
those little sections where it's like she's just telling you information that like isn't necessarily relevant to the story, but like is like it's not necessary to tell the story, but it's like information we want anyway, right?
Yeah.
I think it was Stephen King who was like talked about how Joe wrote, and it's not just like a tree. It's this lush tree in this forest, and the roots are gnarly and twisted, and like she just goes into that kind of detail, and that's
But
what
it's
makes
not
it so
over
magical.
detailing,
Right.
like
it's just enough. You know?
Tolkien.
Oh.
What did you just say?
I'm sorry.
Ooh,
That's
let's ask a
just-
serious question. No pun intended.
Seriously?
JK or Tolkien?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm asking
Yeah,
that right now.
Say it now.
Lightning bolt, whatever. What do we call
Say
it?
it.
Lightning round.
Say it out loud.
Okay,
I
here's the
dare
thing.
No,
you.
no, no.
I dare
You
you.
can't.
Say it out loud, Edward. Okay, easy, pal. All right.
You have to pick.
No, it's easy. I mean, I think all modern day authors, you know, kind of look back to J.R.R. Tolkien.
Okay.
I think they
She
do.
didn't read him.
She probably did.
I think she
I'm
pays. I think
joking.
she pays homage to him a little bit. So you know, which is good on her. I mean, that's the way to go about things. You know, it just
My next question.
it shows you she's a good.
So, like, in real time life words, like, what are you saying? You pick Tolkien. It's fine.
That's-
Just say it.
Get
what I'm
out.
saying.
The door's that way.
Tiffany's upstairs. I'm leaving. Yeah. So
So my
Yeah,
question
tell her
is,
to come
who
down.
is Tolkien? Never heard of him.
Yeah,
never heard.
I don't-
Never heard.
who is
Yeah, he just. I mean,
J.R.R.
he authored a
Just
couple.
a little author.
He authored some books. He's
Who's
author of
a
the century.
Smeagol?
You know, Lord
What's
of the
a precious?
Rings, The Hobbit. No big deal. You know, big. You know,
What's
The
whatever.
a
Hobbit
Lord?
movies were the best movies, man.
They're just saying stuff to rile me up right now. Okay, it's like you want me to leave. I understand.
We do.
I know you do. So I really was hoping Tiffany would just stay
My
down here.
favorite Star Wars character is Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. So okay,
Meg, you could get
this
out
is a
too.
plot. I understand what's happening now. Is that this
and
is
like
an
I
arranged
know that you
attack?
guys are probably looking at me like, "Oh, she's joking."
She's
I'm
not.
not.
Which
Oh,
is-
okay, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I thought this was, you know, like something. You know, you guys had like a pact here to kind of
I'm kidding. Actually, it's now Ray. So
just raise your favorite.
yeah,
Yeah, come on. Oh yeah, Daisy Ridley.
And
So oh, she's
Ray
great.
and
Finn,
Finn.
BB-8.
Finn.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
you
I'm
know I
shipping
love
those
this
guys
movie.
hard. Yeah,
We should probably get back to Harry Potter.
yeah. We should probably. Yeah, Katie. This
Who
is
do you ship in Harry Potter?
Katie. I did not derail. I just wanted.
I
That's
love
okay.
Harry
You
and
know?
Snape. So
Okay.
good.
My actual favorite is Hermione and Snape.
Ugh.
Sarah can't even take
No, I liked his reaction. I was like, whoa.
What?
Oh, it's out there.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yes.
guys, for real. It's
What?
Remus
Do you know
and
what the
Lily,
Do you
let's
know
be
what the
real.
number one like fan fiction that people write is Harry and Draco?
That was-
Yeah,
that was
I
my
had heard
guess.
about that. Yeah, I had
Yeah,
heard about
but
that.
they
I
make
legitimately
But
love me
Snape.
some Harry and Draco fix.
Drary?
Drary.
Wow.
What about Drapple? Okay,
All right.
moving on.
Let's moving. Okay.
So This is important to remember for a future chapter when Harry gets a little bit in trouble, but it actually takes him like ages to get to Honeydukes. He mentions it feels like an hour before it even starts to rise.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, he comes to these steps. He counts 100, 200. He loses count until his head hits the floor.
His
of-
floor
His
hits
floor
the
hits
head?
the head
The floor could
of
hit
the
the head.
cellar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So God knows how long. It probably is at least an hour and a half, if not
Do you
longer.
think it really is though, or is he just like
I'll
kinda,
guess.
he's like anxious to get there, so he thinks it's taking way longer? Than
I'll
I
guess
bet you it's-
45 minutes.
I bet you it's long though. Think of like how far away Honeydukes is from Hogsworth.
I mean, Hogwarts.
Hogsworth? Is that what you
Pig farts?
Pig farts? What?
I want to know how far do you think Hogsmeade is from Hogsmeade.
I'm going to go to pig farts.
It's on Mars. You can't just go to Pig Farts. You need a rocket ship.
Choose Potter. So I'm wondering, how long do they have in Hogsmeade for their trip? Because if it takes Harry a couple hours to get from the castle to Honeydukes, how much time does he actually have to spend in Hogsmeade with them?
I think they're there
I think
all day.
it's like a whole afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, I think they can leave like pre-lunchtime and come back just before dinner.
I would think
I
that.
agree.
I would think so. And do you think that they like take the carriages or do they walk?
I think they take the carriages.
In
Not
the
Harry.
movies, they walk.
Yeah, but think again,
But
how long
they
of a
don't
walk
make
it is.
Hogsmeade look as far away as it really is in the
Yeah.
movies. I think they kind of make everything look and seem a little closer than it actually is. But I would say that they have almost a whole day. Like, you know, they eat breakfast, they go, they can have lunch there, and then they can come back in the afternoon before dinner.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess.
I agree.
So Harry sneaks upstairs past the Honeydukes owner, who I'll get to in a little bit. And Honeydukes was so crowded with Hogwarts students, no one looked twice at Harry. Is this the first time this has happened in his
Wow,
life?
yeah.
So he doesn't have the invisibility
No.
cloak this
Doesn't
time?
he leave it by? Oh no, he doesn't have it at
That's
all.
He
the
doesn't
next
have it at all.
time.
Nope.
That's
The
the
next
next time
time,
he
yeah,
leaves
yeah.
it.
Which I think is, I'd be super scared of
I
getting
would be
caught, but that's just
scared.
me.
I would be
'Cause, like,
so nervous.
The teachers go.
I don't think he
I
knew
don't
that
think
they.
he
He
thought
probably
about
doesn't
it.
Because he
know
says that when they
yeah.
show up, he's kind of like, "Oh crap!"
Right.
He,
At
like,
the end of term,
hides,
they're going
yeah.
too.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you just say? Did you say a swear? Is he allowed to say that?
No, I didn't. What did I say? I said end of term.
No, he said the C word.
Crap.
Okay.
Oh, we can't say crap on this
That's
podcast.
fine.
I'm sorry.
I'm not allowed.
I'm just having a crappy time. Sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
So here's Joa
Oh,
at her
poop.
finest again. I'm going to read the passage from Honeydukes. There were shelves
I'm so
upon
hungry right now. This
I
is gonna
know.
make me really hungry.
There were shelves upon shelves of the most succulent-looking sweets imaginable. Creamy chunks of nougat, shimmering pink squares of coconut ice, fat honey-colored toffees, hundreds of different kinds of chocolate in neat rows. There was a large barrel of every flavor beans and another of fizzing Whizbees, the levitating sherbet balls that Ron had mentioned before. Along yet another wall were special effects sweets, Drubal's best blowing gum, which filled a room with bluebell-colored bubbles that refused to pop for days. She loves Bluebell. We have the Bluebell Flames with Hermione.
Yeah.
I think in Order of the Phoenix, Remus has Bluebell Flames in his hand when they visit the Dursleys to save Harry. I don't know.
Doesn't he have them at
Um,
the beginning of this book too? He's got flames.
Yes, in the carriage.
He's got flames in his hands, but don't call him a flame man.
Oh
Oh.
Ooh, that's
god.
Boy.
kind of like a purpley color.
Yeah, you're right. That's pretty. Look up bluebells.
Purpley
The
color.
Purple
strange.
is a magical color.
All colors are magical.
That's true. The strange,
Okay.
splintery, tooth flossing string mitts, tiny black pepper imps, breathe fire for your friends. Ice mice, hear your teeth cheat. Hear your teeth chatter and squeak. Peppermint cream shaped like toads hops realistically in the stomach.
Oh, I don't know.
I know.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah, that makes me uncomfortable. Fragile sugar spun quills and exploding bonbons.
Bonbons.
I just need to say here, the candies that they made for the Wizarding World in Orlando, like they have coconut ice, and it is like the perfect pink color. It's just like they literally just brought it to life. Like, it's amazing. Fizzing Whizbees are awesome because they crackle in your mouth.
They
I
have
like
exploding
those.
bonbons too.
They-
Right? No. Or is that the fizzing Whizbees?
Fizzing Whizbees.
Are they also the
Are
ones
the
that have the
little
cauldron
flies.
cakes?
They
Oh.
have
Very good.
cauldron
Those-
cakes.
it was so
Those were
good.
so good. They have ice mice. I've never had that. They have pepper imps. They're just like mints, but it's still like the packaging is amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Yep.
all.
Yeah, they do a good job. So, fun facts about the owner of Honeydukes. Ambrosius Flume.
That's almost like ambrosia, which is a food.
I'm getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
He attended Hogwarts in his youth, taught by Horace Slughorn, and was a part of the Slug Club. So he actually got his first job because of Slughorn, and thus sent a hamper of Slughorn's favorite sweets, the crystallized pineapple,
Oh, he talks about that.
to him annually on his birthday. So maybe he was the one who told Tom Riddle about
I was
Slughorn's
gonna
love of
say.
pineapple, and maybe that's how he kind of
Wow.
So a little etymology. Ambrosius comes from the Greek word ambrosia, which means food or drink of the deities. So it's also referred to as a nectar, which is sweet and bestows immortality. There's also, when I was in college, an ice cream place called Ambrosia.
Yeah, there
Remember that?
was. Yeah.
There's like a dish that's a fruit salad. That's like a fruit, like the ambrosia, like it's a
Type of fruit salad.
and it has sweetened pineapple in it. Fresh or
And-
sweetened, I should say. Sorry.
As we know, he runs it with his wife. So it's a little, and they live above the shop, which is super cute.
Harry knows the owner.
Yes. Thank you.
What
Bridesmaids.
is happening?
So Harry finds Ron and Herm in a section called Unusual Tastes, where they're looking at blood-flavored lollipops, maybe for vampires, and cockroach clusters. Don't know
Do you
who
think
that would
they
be
taste
for.
coppery?
Ew.
Hey, do you think Cedric was there too?
He was
Check.
definitely. He was getting
Yes.
some blood flavored lollipops
Yeah,
for
no.
later.
Oh my.
They're trying to find something for Harry there. They're like, no, I don't think Harry would like that. I think that's for vampires. What? Don't.
Why would you look
What?
there?
Hey, you
Go
know.
get him some fizzing whizbies like a normal person.
But then Harry from behind them is like, no, definitely not. And he surprises the heck out of them, which I love reading that part.
Yeah, and the description is almost like he almost drops him. It's like
Yeah.
he's behind him. He's like, oh, what is that?
Don't drop the blood
Are there
flavored pops.
actual cockroaches in those clusters?
Yeah. Because he asked Harry if he can trick Fred and George into thinking they're peanuts.
Yeah.
No, cockroaches are huge.
No. Maybe it's bits and pieces of cockroach.
You're gonna
Bits
make me
and
wanna
bobs
vomit
of roaches.
everywhere.
Do you think
Oh,
they crawl around your stomach and just like the?
this is
the
when we're
frogs
kicking
that-
you out.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Bits and bobs doing your wizardry. Isn't that
In
what
your
it's
tummy.
called? In your tummy?
Oh
what?
gosh.
I just said it.
I love that you just
I
repeated
just
me.
said it and then I was like, wait, what did I say?
So he tells them all about the map. And Ron cannot believe that his brothers wouldn't have given it to him, just like
Right.
Meg said. And Herm's like, "You're gonna turn this in, right? Because
No.
Sirius Black, because Sirius Black could be using one of the passageways." And Harry wonders, "Does Black know about the Honeyduke cellar?" Guess
Dun,
what?
dun, dun.
He does.
Spoiler alert.
Which I never thought of that until this reread.
Totes McGoats, he knows about it.
Okay.
Totes my goats. But Ron's like, don't worry. There's a sign on the door that says, by order of the Ministry of Magic. Customers are reminded that until further notice, Dementors will be patrolling the streets of Hogsmeade every night after sundown. This measure has been put into place for the safety of Hogsmeade residents and will be lifted upon the recapture of Sirius Black. It is therefore advisable that you complete your shopping well before nightfall. Merry Christmas. Yes.
I was just going to say that somebody in the group pointed out that you said a funny joke the other day in one of the podcasts, and
Who?
Sarah went, okay, just like she does there, because like that's her thing. And they're like, yeah, Sarah was like, okay, like I'm supposed to be the one telling funny
I
jokes.
think that was
and
Jeremy.
she just did it again. It was Jeremy Crawford. Shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah. I did see that. I saw it this morning when I couldn't sleep, and I was going to be like, yeah, I know. Leave the jokes
That's
to me.
exactly what I was thinking when I said it.
No, it was funny.
I don't even know what I said.
It's a joke about love. Blah, 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 blah. Luna Lovegood.
Oh.
You said something about, something about her last name being Lovegood. I don't know.
She loves good.
I'm hilarious.
She's a good lover.
Okay, moving on.
So after that, Herm kind of like struggles to come up with an excuse for Harry to turn this in. And Harry just grins at her and he's like, "Are you going to report me?" And of course,
She's
Harry.
kind of like Remus.
Yeah. Well,
Who's
yeah.
the Peter of their group?
Scabbers.
Yep. Yeah. That
Only
fits.
until the end of this book.
That fits.
Jenny? No, just kidding.
How dare you? Oh my
Well,
gosh.
Ron is like, "Go
Terrible.
away." Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
So Harry and Ron win, and they finish their shopping at Honeydukes. They head out into the blizzard, and here's Joe again. Hogsmeade looked like a Christmas card. The little thatched cottages and shops were all covered in a layer of crisp snow. There were holly wreaths on the doors and strings of enchanted candles in the trees. So they point out, like, the post office, Zonko's, a shrieking shack, but it's really cold. Harry doesn't have a cloak because, he snuck in. So they head to the Three Broomsticks for a butterbeer. So there's actually a profile on Pottermore for butterbeer.
Are you kidding? She has a profile for butterbeer, but she can't tell us if Lavender Brown is dead.
Right?
Well, which was more important? I'd rather have a butterbeer. I don't give a I don't care if I know about her being alive or dead. Sorry.
Oh. Sarah
that's
does a swear
At
at 1:14.
14 minutes.
14.
1 hour, 14 minutes. We have not been podcasting for just 14 minutes.
This is the behind the scenes.
Yes.
Take out
So-
the curse words.
Sorry.
Butterbeer. It was the most delicious thing he'd ever tasted and seemed to heat every bit of him from the inside.
want
So,
it.
type, it's a beverage.
Eat it.
Magical properties can cause house elves to become intoxicated. Where is it likely to be found? Served in wizard pubs such as the Three Broomsticks or the Hog's Head. But guys, who walks into the Three Broomsticks? McG.
Not Harry's.
McG, Flitwick, Hagrid, and Cornelius Fudge, the Minister of Magic himself. What? And Harry's like, oh, what Sarah just said a second ago. Ron and Herm force Harry under the table, and Herm magics a Christmas tree to hide them from sight.
I'm sorry, I'm just really happy.
Who's back?
I'm legitimately crying.
If you cry, I cry.
Guys, stop it. I'm going to cry, and I don't cry during these things. Hey!
Sorry.
Ezra had a voice change?
Ezra, are you feeling okay?
Oh, look at our levels. They're back to being loud.
Tiffany,
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, just making life.
Literally.
Feeding people. Yes.
Or you can finish your thing and then we'll
Oh,
let
no,
Tiffany
I'm done.
talk.
I'm
Oh, are you done?
Yeah.
Tiffany, talk before me.
Oh, I don't know.
What do you have to say about butterbeer?
No.
Do you like it?
I'm really glad
I
that
need
you
to
got
try
to
it
be on
hot.
this episode.
Yes.
Is that a dead spider on the
It
wall?
is. I killed it a while ago and then just left.
We're in the
Feels like
chamber of
home.
secrets.
That's Aragog. King of the
Arachnids. I killed it when I recorded an episode of BB-8 Radio. That's not a thing.
His body will decay on the
Can
wall.
I just say
Can you?
that, like, literally, this podcast just changed. I feel like it's different now, and I have chills, and now I'm gonna cry because Sarah's crying.
Wait,
What do you mean it's different? You mean
Yeah,
it's back to
like,
normal?
because
No, it's just like
OG
like,
feels.
without the four of us here, it's like the
yeah.
chemistry is just different.
No offense,
Yeah,
Ezra, we love you.
Yeah, I love you, Ezra. No, but like seriously,
I'm
it's
gonna
just,
hold you later while you cry deeply.
I'm
It's
just
just
really
like-
glad that she's back.
It feels good, and you know what?
It's
I can
perfect
pop a
now.
Baby on, no big deal.
Yeah.
She's
Come
so-
back to my
guys,
house.
I mean,
I'm
I
back.
know that I'm biased because she's my niece, but I have never seen a cuter baby in my entire life.
Nor have I.
She's just freaking cute.
I don't think I have either, honestly.
She's
Ugh.
super cute.
I just want to hold her right now. She's just a little nug.
Just saying.
Little nugget.
Bridget's getting her time in.
Yeah, she needs it more than I do. I see her all
true.
the time.
We're over all the time.
Yeah.
So the real question I have is, have we figured out who Harry Potter is?
Florence, let
No.
us
Since I've been gone.
Florence figured
Oh.
it out, didn't she?
No, but Florence does have a brother now. We
Oh,
need.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
hold on. It's Florence and Frank.
Yeah.
What does Frank sound like?
Ezra. I mean, Frank, speak.
Turn that mic down there.
Come over here, Frank.
What's Frank gonna say?
I don't know.
I don't know. So many germs on this pop filter.
Chiffons and I shared a mic together.
My stitches are already on a pop one.
Florence is not that big of a fan.
I'm going home.
I have many questions that are
I
not
don't-
appropriate for recording, so I'll ask those later.
I don't think I have any answers.
My cheeks hurt from smiling.
I know.
Legitimately.
I'm
You
crying,
missed
though.
me. You missed
Yeah.
my
I
face.
missed
you. Missed
you.
me
It's nice
taunting
to
you
see
about
you.
the bell.
Yeah.
I like my.
I've been doing so good.
See,
has
Megan,
been.
not the bell. It was
It's
you.
totally the best.
I missed
So,
my
yeah,
across the
let's-
table, buddy.
I know. Let's
Did you
talk
finish
about
it?
what chapter I should start reading next. So.
Yeah, she was
Marauders
like, she goes,
No, the next
should I just get on when you guys talk about Goblet of Fire? I was like, no.
I didn't know how far you were.
I'm like, we won't be on Goblet till like October, November. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh.
yeah, that's when I go back. So.
All right, hold on. I got to get situated. Well,
Oh,
right.
such a-
Look at your dress.
Yeah, I'm themed.
You are.
Deathly Hallows.
I even have purple nail polish on for this weekend.
Nice.
Nice. Well, all right.
I have butterflies in my stomach.
I know. Guys.
It means we're in love.
I know.
I saw online the other day. It was a picture of Peter Griffin from Family Guy. And he said, so do butterflies have people in their stomachs when they're
What about we have fingertips but not toe tips, but you can
That was
tiptoe
me.
but not what?
You can't fingertip.
Fingertip.
Wait, I don't know.
Finger.
We just ruined it. We just ruined
I
it.
know. Sorry.
All right.
Internet. Okay, go.
So the teachers are there with fudge. Having
They have
adult-
fudge?
They're just with
What
I
flavor?
almost called him Professor Fudge. He's not a professor.
Definitely
I
not.
think it's just white fudge.
Oh, okay.
So not as good as
I think it's
chocolate fudge.
pinstriped.
Oh, could be.
Peanut butter's my favorite.
Uh, I don't like peanut butter.
Well, that's 'cause you're
I'm gonna peanut your butter.
But do you like fudge? So like maybe
I'm
he
actually
is
not a-
peanut butter.
I'm not a huge fan of fudge.
Maybe it is peanut butter then.
It could be probably white chocolate and fudge. Nope, white chocolate and peanut butter fudge.
Okay.
Pinstriped.
I like it.
With a bowler.
With the
the
bowl
bola.
hat.
So they're with Fudge having adult beverages, and Madame Rosemirta asks Fudge what brings them to his or her neck of the woods. So Harry's eavesdropping on the conversation. Sorry, guys, this section is huge.
This is a
This is a heavy section.
chapter. Hey,
Jinx, you owe
Coke.
me a Coke.
Oh, she said it first.
I said Jinx though.
But she said Coke.
Yeah, but you know what? Tiffany just had a
My
baby,
first day
so
All right, I'll get you a Coke.
um,
Bev found a Coke with the name Salazar on it and didn't buy it for me, so I'm just saying.
I did
What
buy
do
a
you have to
Coke
say for
yesterday with
yourself,
Sarah on
Beverly?
it.
hello. So Fudge asks her if she's heard what happened at the school on Halloween, and then he has come to Hogwarts on serious business.
Oh, what?
So she admits that she heard a rumor, and McGee asks Hagrid if he told the whole pub because she was like, oh, she heard a rumor. We all know that he gets a little loose-lipped when he's drinking.
Loose lips, eat chips.
What's that from?
From a State Farm commercial.
With those horrible quotes.
Horrible quote.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite.
Loose lips eat chips.
I have a sixth sense for smelling.
You're a turd.
So we know that Hagrid's not good, or is known for keeping secrets. Not. Especially when he's been drinking. So Rosemirta then asks if he's still in the area, he being serious. And Fudge is like, I'm sure he is. Where else would he go?
He's been cited.
Who? Sirius Black!
Oh my God! When I come back, we're gonna have to tame this. You also went wild.
I also said a swear earlier.
A swear.
swear.
Okay.
So where else would he go? He being serious because he's looking for Harry. I don't know why I said his name like that. She also complains that she has had Dementors search her pub twice now, and it's scaring her customers away. It's very bad for business. And then Fudge says, I don't like them any more than you do. But is he just saying that to play satyr? Is that how you say that word? Or
Play what?
placater? Play satyr? What?
Who?
I know what you're trying to
Wait,
say.
Wait, where are we at?
Placate.
Placate? It's
Placate.
like placate.
Oh, see? My bad. Placater.
It's
Everybody
auto-anonymous.
already knows we cannot speak on this podcast.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't have to apologize for
So
that.
they are a necessary. Words are hard.
What?
They are a necessary precaution, and he lets us know that the Dementors are furious with Dumbledore because he won't let them in the grounds of Hogwarts. And then McGee defends him Dumbledore by saying, like, how would they be able to teach with those things floating around? And Flitwick agrees with her, but again, Fudge defends the Dementors, telling them that they're there to protect you all from something much worse. We all know what Black is capable of.
Boom.
And then Rosmerta then says she has a hard time believing everything that they have heard about Black in the papers. She never would have thought Sirius Black would have turned to the dark side. Dun, dun, dun,
Whoa.
dun.
Is this Harry Potter?
That's
or
probably
Star
because
Wars?
he doesn't.
Or could he be talking about Vader?
Oh. Yeah, sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I literally have that written in my notes.
Dun, 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 dun.
So she remembers how he was
okay.
when he was in school. Fudge tells her that that's not even the worst part. There are worse things than murdering all those poor people is my question. Like, what's worse than doing all that? Whatever. So instead of basically going through the rest of the chapter and telling you exactly what they said, yes, Tiffany?
Are you talking about like Dementor sucking souls? That's worse than death, right?
Right, probably.
No, Fudge is saying, like,
Oh,
that's not even the
Sirius
worst
is
part.
capable?
Yeah, like, that we don't know
guess the
Sirius's whole
fact
story,
that
so she
he
doesn't know.
is-
Yeah. Which we're about to find out. Because even Hagrid doesn't know this, and he gets very angry.
So they're talking. Okay, well, I'll let you finish. Never mind. Because we're
Yes.
going to talk about it right now.
So we basically, these are things we're going to learn. So I tried to, like, condense this as much as possible, but still tell everything. So it's
Yeah.
going to be me talking for a long time.
We're ready to learn to
Oh,
get
God,
some
I can't
knowledge.
wait. I got hot
I'm
coffee.
so ready to
Hot
learn.
coffee. Coffee.
So Sirius Black and James Potter were the best of friends.
What?
Yes.
They were?
Yes. So never one without the other. Ringleaders of their gang, exceptionally bright. McGee says that they hadn't seen such a pair of troublemakers. And Hagrid's like, I think Fred and George can give them a run for their money.
That's true.
So Black and Potter were like brothers, inseparable.
Nope.
Inseparable.
I don't know.
No,
why
you
I
had it
can't-
right the first
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
Potter trusted Black more than all of his other friends. Black was the best man at the wedding of James and Lily, and he was named godfather to Harry.
What?
Harry drops his butterbeer
I
tankard.
understand not trusting Wormtail. Why wouldn't he trust Lupin just as much as
I-
his other friends?
I think
Probably
that
because of some prejudice.
You think there's a wee bit there from
Well,
his
I mean,
pure blood
here's my
line?
question. They're like the four best friends, whatever.
That
Like,
anyone
are
could
they
have.
really the four best friends? Like, do you actually have like?
I don't think Wormtail was on their level.
Well, yeah. So ignore him.
Okay.
But like, do you have like one person or more? Like, do you tell everybody, all of your best friends, all of the things? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's I almost, in a weird way, it's almost a compliment to Remus because Sirius might be like, Peter, there's no way he could do anything remotely talented. So maybe it's
Pretty talented. He gets
maybe
his
it's
friends
Remus.
killed.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Double Quassa.
It's pretty brave. It's very Gryffindor, don't you think?
Oh,
It's not a
gosh.
compliment, but it's like
It is.
it kind of talks more towards Remus's abilities.
So Harry doesn't know any of this. So finding out that Sirius Black and his father were friends is news to him. But realistically, he doesn't really know much about his parents anyways because his aunt and uncle don't tell him anything. And then I think that a lot of the people around him are afraid, probably because of this whole backstory, to tell him anything because they don't want him to know. I don't know.
His aunt and uncle probably don't even know any of this either.
No, but like they don't even talk about her. Like
Right.
Petunia
Well,
knows her sister, but she won't say anything about her either.
Is it in Dumbledore's letter?
Maybe.
Well, no, it wouldn't because nobody
No.
knew anything about it. I don't know.
So probably really
Speculating.
upsetting for him to find out all of this, especially because he's hiding underneath the table right now.
Yeah.
So someone told Dumbledore that you know who was after the Potters. A spy was working for him. He advised the Potters to go into hiding, and he felt like their best chance was
Was
the. Oh my!
Are
What
you-
is wrong with me?
I'll tell you what it is. You're nervous because I'm such a big star and I'm back.
We're a
It's so
little
true.
starstruck
I
right
know.
now.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I literally cried. I was so in shock. Fidelius charm. Correct.
Good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
So that's-
Fidelius charm.
Fidelius charm.
Oh my gosh. So
Like
it's
Adam
basically
Sandler.
like it's an extremely ancient magic and it's still used this day, so it involves the concealment of information inside a living person. So that chosen person is called the Secret Keeper. And it's the only person who is henceforth capable of revealing the protected information to others. So,
I have a question.
Yes.
Did Dumbledore offer to be the secret keeper
Yes.
for them?
I'm going to get there.
Okay.
So Flitwick gives us a rundown of what the charm really means. It's a magical concealment inside a living person. They call the person a secret keeper, and it is impossible to find unless the secret keeper chooses to divulge the information. And as long as that person refused to speak to Voldemort, he could search the village where James and Lily lived, or wherever, without ever finding them. Like, he could even have his nose pressed against their living room window and not see them.
So
I
what
like that
happens
picture.
if you want to go for a walk? Does it once you leave that house? Dunzo?
I believe
think-
once you leave
yeah.
the house, it's
So that's
done.
why James was so cooped.
Stir
Yeah.
crazy, man.
I mean, I would be. I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
been. Good
Yeah.
lord.
So Black was chosen as the Potter's secret keeper, or so we think. So James told Dumbledore that Black would rather die than tell anyone else where they were. So he was planning on going into hiding himself, him being Black. Dumbledore was still worried and offered to be the Potter's secret keeper instead. He was sure someone close to the Potters was informing Voldemort of their movements, and that there was a traitor in their midst. Which there was, but it wasn't him. So James insisted on using Black, and barely a week after the charm was placed, they died. So they're all kind of shocked and all that stuff. So now they're
Kind
talking. Well, even I'm saying, like, Harry's literally has not heard any of this, so this is shocking to him.
That's a lot of information to take at one
Yeah.
time, especially such heavy information.
And we're not even done yet. So Black betrayed them. He was tired of his double agent role. He was ready to declare his support for Voldemort. And then after Voldemort was somewhat defeated by Harry, Black was left in a nasty position, having just ousted himself. He had no choice but to run.
That literally hurts my heart to hear
Yeah.
because it's just all a lie.
Yes. So we don't know this.
I
So
mean,
then,
Black is not perfect. Obviously, we discussed that in our Felix Files, but he definitely, nobody deserves this except the person that does it. You know, like, you never should wish something like this on someone. For this to be their story, like, this is the story everybody knows about them, and
Well,
it's not.
and what's so sad is Remus believes this too.
I
Like, no
know.
one knows the truth until
Right.
the end of the book. And, like, Remus, for all of these years, thinks he literally has no friends left.
Yeah.
Yes, Tiffany.
So let's put ourselves in the scenario where maybe they get Wormtail and whatever, and he tells the real story, right? So Sirius is really actually free at the end of this book, okay? You've got to think the whole of the wizarding world is still going to be so jaded by this story. You're going to have
I
people that
know.
believe it, people that don't believe it. People
Yes.
people might try and kill him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Voldemort's followers obviously would be after him. His life would have maybe
still
been
ruined.
the same.
Yeah.
Maybe you still
Yeah.
would have been in hiding.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's a huge thing to think about with media and how you're portrayed in the media, because all of this is hearsay.
Oh,
Not
can
one
you-
of these people
fake
sitting
news.
there.
Can you imagine Fudge? He wouldn't believe it.
Oh,
No.
absolutely
He would
not.
be plastering Sirius all over the place as still a murderer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hands
Yeah.
down.
So Hagrid, who has been drinking, angrily yells and calls Black a filthy, stinking turncoat. And then he says how he met up with Sirius and was probably the last person that he saw before he went and killed all of those people. It was Hagrid who rescued Harry from James and Lily's house after they died. He had just gotten him out of their ruins, a great slash on his forehead, which we all know is in the shape of a donut. I'm just kidding. A lightning bolt.
A duck donut.
Never to be had again. And so Sirius shows up on his motorbike. So Hagrid never even thought about why he was there. He didn't know that Sirius was the Potter's secret keeper, thought that he had just heard the news and came to see if it was true. So Hagrid's angry that he even confronted Sirius, calling him a murdering traitor. He makes me want to jump through the book and just give Hagrid and Sirius cuddles, because they're both wrong. And Hagrid's mad at Sirius, but Sirius really didn't do anything. And Sirius
Hagrid
just...
comes around, though.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
It'll be okay.
I know.
This is another example of how this book captured me into this series, because she brings up this motorbike and I was like, oh my God, that's from the first chapter of the first book. That blows my mind.
I don't think I
This-
ever thought that.
This
God.
chapter,
Yes.
this chapter is when I was like,
Whoa.
whoa,
Whoa,
she
man.
is like connecting stuff. And then I was just all about like the interweaving of all this information.
Is
and
this
I'm
your
like,
first read?
Yes. As soon as I heard the
I'm a
motorbike,
dumb
I was
kid.
like, I was like, oh my God, no way. Like, we're taking it back to Sorcerer's Stone. And that's when I was like, she's amazing.
Didn't think that way.
All right.
I mean, I thought that way probably maybe second or third.
Thought about it last week.
That's why you're not a Ravenclaw.
It's true.
Ooh.
It is my second house, though.
All right. So
I'm not a
getting,
Ravenclaw, so I
getting
don't
back to Harry and the Potters. So Hagrid is now
Wizard Rock.
shouting, and McGee reminds him to quiet down.
We're
Simmer down now.
gonna save Ginny Weasley from
Insert
that.
Ross Geller's hand motions.
So Hagrid goes, how was I to know he wasn't upset about Lily and James? It was you-know-who he cared about. And then he says, give Harry to me, Hagrid. I'm his godfather. I'll look after him. Ha! But I'd hand me... Wait.
Yep. It's hard to read Hagrid. You're fine.
Hold on, my eye also itches. Ha! But I'd had me orders from Dumbledore, and I told Black, no. Dumbledore said Harry was to go to his aunt and uncle's. Black argued, but in the end, he gave in. Told me to take his motorbike to get Harry there. I wouldn't need it anymore, he says.
What would have happened if Hagrid was like, here you go?
He-
What would have happened?
I guarantee he says that because he knows that he's about to go and find Peter and kill him, and he's probably going to get carted off to
Oh, no, he
Azkaban.
knows that for sure. I
Oh, yeah.
completely agree with you.
Oh,
but
yeah.
going back
But-
to
but what
she
if-
said-
but what
off
if-
to Azkaban for a different reason?
But what if he had Harry? He wouldn't have went after Peter because he has
Correct.
the baby.
But he would.
Maybe, I
They
don't know,
still
maybe
think
he
that he's the
would.
secret keeper and that he was the traitor. Well, but maybe they would have found out though that it was really Peter. I don't know.
They could have figured. They could have.
Yeah.
They
Good
could have
question.
figured it out for sure.
Yeah.
Dear Joe, why do you hate us?
So Hagrid then says he should have known something was up because Sirius loved that bike, and why wouldn't he need it anymore? He thinks it's because it's too easy to trace. Dumbledore knew Sirius was the secret keeper, and Black knew he would have to go on the run, and the Ministry would soon be after him. So he laments about what if he had given Harry to him? Sirius might have thrown him into the sea, his best friend's son. But when a wizard goes over to the dark side, da-da-da, there's nothing and no one that matters to them anymore. And I literally circled dark side and wrote Vader in my notes, just so you guys know, in my book.
It's not just Vader, Sarah.
I know, but whole dark side, you know. I heard they have cookies. I don't know. So
Shape of Death Stars.
What flavor cookies?
Dark.
chocolate chip with dark chocolate chips in it.
It's always good.
It's also better for you than regular chocolate.
It's good for you.
So everyone is silent after all of the revelations made by Hagrid. So we know that Sirius did disappear. The Ministry was able to catch him the next day, but they were not the ones who found him. Another friend in the group, Peter Pettigrew, found him. Mad with grief, and he knew Sirius was the secret keeper, and he went after Black.
He's made to be out some stupid hero.
Ugh.
Hate his
I
face.
just can't wait for him to die.
Can't wait for you to choke yourself in the cellar. You're gonna die. It's gonna be a great day for me. For me.
So Pettigrew is described as a fat little boy who always tagged along with them at school. He hero worshipped Black and Potter, not in the same league as the rest of the group. McGee was often sharp with him and regrets that a little bit, not for long though, because whatever. And Peter Pettigrew died a hero's death.
Bullcrap.
Make me vomit now
It's all
on my
lies.
microphone.
He's been living the life.
Not this year though.
No, not this
He's
year.
been a little terrified this year.
little under the
Good for
weather.
him.
Yeah. So
You lose your hair. You are
We hope
skin
you
and
die.
bones. I want you to die.
which hand did he lose his finger on?
Leave you wish
is it the
blindness
same?
on
Is it the same
someone.
hand he cuts off for Valdi?
No.
No.
Well, that
Oh.
sucks. I don't think so.
It's his own doing. He chopped his own finger off.
We can pull
Sorry,
up, the
spoiler alert for
graveyard
people that
chapter.
don't know this. And he also chopped his own hand off. You're
Maybe
dumb.
that's why
you slice
Voldemort.
off my hand?
If he used the hand,
I'm looking at you, Les.
if he used the hand that was missing a finger, maybe that's why Voldemort had his downfall because it wasn't a full hand, so that curse wasn't proper. Know what I'm saying?
It wasn't enough flesh of the servant
Right.
there.
Bone of the father.
All right, so there were a lot of Muggle witnesses, and their memories were later wiped. He told the Ministry, probably Aurors, or this is what the Ministry was saying, probably Aurors, how Pettigrew confronted Plaque. Oh my gosh.
You need to brush your teeth?
I brushed
He
them
needs
this
some of
morning.
those tooth flossing.
So
She
there
brushes
was-
on the reg.
There were a lot of Muggle witnesses. Their memories were wiped, and this was told from the Ministry. Probably the Aurors are the ones that told us how Pettigrew confronted Black and that he was sobbing. How could you? He said to Sirius, and he drew his wand. But Sirius was quicker and blew Pettigrew to smithereens.
Just like Harry's Nimbus 2000.
so, like,
Gone with the wind.
Too soon, Katie. Too soon.
It womp womp.
womp, womp, Willow. Whomping Willow.
Did you already make that joke in a previous
Nope.
episode?
I don't think so.
No, but I did make a joke earlier in this episode.
Oh, it's a
Like,
Reused joke.
so, like,
But it's new on you.
You can.
do you think that Pettigrew was, like, legitimately crying? Like, how good of an actor? Like, this literally
Yeah,
makes
of
me want to
course.
stab him
He's
a little
literally
bit.
scum.
Ugh.
He's literally scum.
He's
I mean-
beneath scum.
I think it would take a lot because James and Lily aren't dumb people. I mean, it's going to take a lot for him to fool. You know,
Yeah. It's just crazy.
he's a good actor.
So McGee calls Peter a stupid boy, foolish boy, hopeless at dueling, should have left it to the ministry. I mean, we also know, or people should know, that Sirius was a good duelist.
Duelist.
Yeah.
Do it.
So Hagrid then says he wouldn't have messed with wands. He would have. He
Messing
would
with
do like
wands.
Chewie and basically rip his arms off, rip him limb from limb.
Nice.
I forgot that I put this in here. So Fudge then says no one stood a chance against Black once he was cornered. I will never forget it. I still dream about it sometimes. A crater in the middle of the street, so deep it had cracked the sewer below. Bodies everywhere, muggles screaming, and Black standing there laughing with what was left of Pettigrew in front of him. A heap of blood-stained robes and a few fragments. What? So then Sirius was taken by 20 members of the Magical Law Enforcement Patrol, and Pettigrew received the Order of Merlin first class.
Vomit.
Black has been in Azkaban ever since, and then usually people go mad in there. But
12 years.
when Fudge saw him in his last visit to Azkaban, he was shocked by how normal Black seemed to be. He spoke rationally to Fudge and even asked for his newspaper when they were done. Cool as you please.
Or as a cucumber.
Yeah. Saying he missed doing the crossword. Fudge was surprised the Dementors had such a little effect on him. He was very heavily guarded, Dementors day and night at the door. So, what has happened now that Sirius escaped? What's his plan? Is he going to try to rejoin you-know-who? What? That is what Fudge thinks, but he hopes they catch him before he has a chance to do that. McGee tells him that they better get up to the castle because Fudge is dining with Dumbledore. I wonder what they'll be having.
Roast.
Something, roast pheasant.
Split pea soup. Eat it before it eats you.
Soon, Harry counts all the feet that leave the table, and Ron and Hermione put their faces under the table.
Who's Hermione? I
don't
don't
know.
know her as Herm.
At a loss for words for their friend and all the information they've just discovered. And so in the movie, the whole scene is different. He's hiding under the invisibility cloak without Ron and Hermione in a separate room, and then he freaks out outside, yelling about how he was their friend and he betrayed them. We also don't.
Gets
When I
me
find him, I'm gonna kill him.
every time.
But we also don't get to hear about Hagrid's involvement in the
True.
day of the Potters
Very
died
true.
in the movie.
Very true.
I also really hate how Hermione.
leave that out?
How Hermione reaches blindly and just pulls the invisibility cloak off Harry all awkwardly.
It was too easy.
Yeah, I didn't like
It was
it.
too
Yeah.
easy.
Not
I have a
fan.
question.
Yeah.
So 12 years, correct? And
Yeah.
he just got this paper, right? And that's how he finds out.
Well, I think he sees the picture on
He
it. And he's
sees
like,
the picture of
he
them
knows
in
the
Egypt.
rat.
He's at Hogwarts. He's at Hogwarts, right?
Correct.
So, how does he stay so together for
Because
so many years?
he says
now
it.
wait. Is it his innocence?
Are you talking about?
No,
I'm
I
talking about
Hagrid-
Sirius and
no,
Azkaban.
He says it that he goes. He had lost everything. He goes.
Right.
There's nothing left for him.
There was no
There was
happiness for
nothing.
them to
Everything
suck
was
out
gone.
of him.
So he
Yeah.
had nothing left.
Correct.
Okay, because I was wondering about Barty Crouch's wife switching places and stuff, and she died real fast. So.
Pour one out.
Oh, sorry. Pour one out for Mrs.
Everybody
Crouch.
I think seeing that picture in the paper too gave him enough. He already knew he was innocent, so he wasn't going to be really affected. But seeing that
Right.
picture gave him enough energy to be able to
And boldness,
transform,
right?
to sneak
Oh,
out.
Gryffindor.
But like,
Yep.
did he know? And I know we talked about this, but I still don't think he knew that Pettigrew was alive until he saw that picture.
I agree.
I
I agree.
Oh, I thought we all disagreed on that. Oh, my
Oh
bad.
wait, Maybe I
No,
do
he
remember
knew
that.
because he was laughing in the square because he's.
I thought he was laughing because he lost everything. Like everything was he couldn't.
It was
you know,
like
it's
one of
his
those,
like,
like-
gut reaction.
No,
I
think
think he did know.
I think he knew, and then I think he
Hold
finally
on, we
knew
just,
where
like,
he was.
changed our answers.
I
here.
know, but I forgot we talked about
First
that.
day back, I just had a baby.
I just had a baby. She's a whole month old.
It's a baby, baby.
It's a baby, baby. Wiggle.
It's a baby, baby. Wiggle.
People are like, can Azkaban answer that doing this stuff?
Loud as that.
And not bad. We fixed our levels. We figured it out.
Damn it.
Sorry.
Well,
Oh, that's a swear.
Yeah, it's alright.
That's in the Bible, though. You can use
there's a
it.
lot of things in the Bible.
It's not a 4-letter one. Oh, it is.
I mean, not the way
There
that
it
you
is.
said it.
There it is. Yeah, the way you said it's not 4
Do you
letters.
guys? Do we want to talk? If
Come
we're
on.
doing a lightning bolt round, unless you guys have questions, talk about.
How it's 1 year.
Yeah, it's 1
Oh,
year.
yeah. Let's chit-chat.
Now,
Who's
we
first?
do have plans for like a special 1 year episode.
Do we?
So I don't know.
This
it's
is
a
my official-
surprise.
The best kind of
Kind of
prize is
prize
a
is a
surprise.
We do have a little something planned. It's not like huge, but something.
Is Florence coming out? Is that episode?
What?
Remember, I recorded all that stuff about talking about the
It's
first
gonna
three
be
books.
extra
I know.
because we're extra.
Okay.
You're so millennial.
I know. I love
Well, all
it.
right, Tiffany. Do you want to go first, talking about the podcast?
What do I say?
I don't. Whatever you want to say.
I don't know. I just saw a Facebook memory about us going to Potterfest, no longer called. And we were like putting out on social media that there was like this new podcast that we were coming out with,
Yeah.
coming out soon. So stay tuned and like look at our Facebook page. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god. So that was pretty cool. But I don't know. We just have made
That just gave me chills.
so many friendships along the way. And okay.
Like, I don't want to say this because like it's not happening. But if the podcast were to end today, I would feel fulfilled with what we did.
All right, bye.
In a good way, like because of
the new
everything.
Slytherins.
But like in the best way, right? I mean, like we
No, yeah,
created
yeah.
a community.
No regrets.
Oh, yeah.
No regrets.
No, yeah.
It was a
But like
comma.
we created this amazing community. We met so many amazing people.
There's 3 of them
Um,
sitting behind us right now.
Exactly.
Oh, Ezra doesn't count.
I guess we did meet him because of the
He
podcast.
was already
He was already part of the picture.
He's
my-
apparently
he's my
like
guy.
the OG Swisher.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
He
I don't-
is.
No.
He is. He was here for the first
What about
recording.
Matt?
Yeah, he's an OG. You can have 2 OGs.
They're both our producers.
We said that on an
I don't
episode that
have
you
any-
missed, sir.
I don't have any tea.
She can sip her coffee. Oh, so can I. To me.
So yeah, I mean, you know, again, like I said, like there's no plans for that to happen. But if
No.
it were to end now, like I would feel so happy with what we did. And
Yeah.
whenever so like we have not had the 4 of us sit for a while.
Probably like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit.
And not that it wasn't amazing having Ezra on the episodes with us because like we love Ezra, but
do love
there's
Ez.
just a different chemistry when it's the 4 of us together. And I have to say, before starting this podcast, Katie and I knew Tiffany and like I would definitely have considered her a friend, but like not like now,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's just totally
I agree. I would say that Tiffany is like a sister to me.
She's
You're a
my
turd.
little Gryffindor. And it's just like, you know, the friendship that we have blossomed, the 4 of us, like obviously Sarah and I have been friends since high school, but
It's like a withering rose.
it's just
You better keep
Taylor's
the lid
oldest
on
time.
it.
it's just like not only is our friendship blossomed into something even more, the 4 of us, but like we've got even more friendships out of it
Yeah.
through our social media.
I would agree because I even got a little friendship with little baby.
It didn't
Sarah
come from
literally
this. We'll
can't
talk
be-
later
I
about
mean-
how that happens.
She happened on the podcast, not on it, but like she grew.
did she?
was there on a lot of episodes.
Yes,
she
she
was there
flipping
for us.
was
around.
there a lot. She was holding microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Kicking
Yeah.
bladders.
Yeah.
No big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I gained 2 more best buds out of this.
You
And
can
I'm
even say
grateful.
3.
What, you?
I'm talking about your kid. If it it wasn't for Swish and Flick, it would have never happened.
Agreed. I totally agree with that. Yeah. We helped. We helped.
You helped?
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the night home
Okay.
driving from Potterfest?
Yeah, we almost died by motorcycles.
Yes, that was so crazy.
It
Do you
was
remember
nuts.
Yeah, and you talked
Insane.
about how much you wanted a baby. Now look, you've got one. It's a
did.
year later.
Yeah.
You did.
that? Crazy.
Katie,
is
how about
crazy.
you? Hufflepuff. What are your words?
My words.
Yeah.
I don't
Words.
know how.
Oddment.
I don't know
We've
how.
had a lot of really good food this past year, right?
Hold on. How? Yes.
We
I don't know
spent a lot of
how
time
deep.
in the kitchen.
How
let her
deep?
talk.
No, we need to have an epic feast, like the day I officially
Yes.
come back, like full episode.
We need to recreate that
cooking it.
feast.
Sarah's like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
do
gonna
it.
cook.
Pot roast.
We should probably do something new.
Mac and cheese.
No,
Blah.
I'm like so over mac and cheese.
What?
I'm not. I can't eat cheese like I used to. I never
actually
used
can't
to
I'm
eat
eat
cheese.
cheese
like
because
still
of Alana.
basically a child, and I love cheese. So
Yeah. All right, Katie.
I don't know how in depth I can go with this.
Go do whatever you
go,
want.
do whatever you want.
All right. Well, I feel like Mike said, I've gotten a lot closer to Tiffany, which is awesome. I've gotten closer to Sarah.
You're
I
gonna
mean,
start
we
to
were
cry.
no.
Oh.
I've gotten closer to Sarah. Like we were friends
Don't lie,
before,
we've been
but
in love for years.
right, it's a secret. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Katie's actually mine, so.
Oh, she was mine first. So
All the
door's
ladies
that
like
way.
to fight over me. It's no big
I just
deal.
want to say I'm pretty sure she was mine.
Dude,
First.
you want to hear the best part when Katie says all the ladies fight over me? Not lying. In high school, people were like, "Ooh, she's cute." Asking Megan like, "Who's
They
this
would
girl?"
also say he's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
she-
still
oh
happens.
my god,
That still
And I would
happens.
Be like, put your eyes down a little. Do you see those? It's a girl.
What are those?
Woman.
she's a lady.
Thanks, guys. So instead of talking about my boobs, I'm gonna talk about the podcast.
Is that a swear?
No.
I love the community that has come from this. I can't even put that into words. I don't know how much to go into that, but like I said, there's 4 people behind me. It's crazy the friendships that we've come up with. It's crazy how our swishers help each other. Like we don't even have to be a part of it. They're all just there and there for each other. They're there for us.
Yep.
Because we've been through some hardships this past year as well. And then on top of that, this podcast has done wonders for me personally. I couldn't order a pizza a year ago, and here I am in front of a microphone, and it's helped me like in my everyday life. It's insane. I'm so much more outgoing than I used to be, and I'm super thankful for
I'm
that.
probably less outgoing.
Can we talk about? Can we talk about the first time we sat down here?
like
you,
pre us doing anything.
you were
actually.
you were terrified. You didn't want to talk so much.
You were worried
We-
about doing a podcast.
We
Yeah.
said, Katie, you don't have to talk that much if you don't want to. And
Yeah.
slowly, you have just
Like,
blossomed.
it was crazy. We said we got all of our equipment, and this is like pre us actually recording anything, just trying to like see.
I remember like
how it's
making
trying
the
to
Facebook
talk.
page and like things coming in, and Tiffany would like snap a picture and post it on our Facebook page, like stuff's coming in. We were so excited about
Well,
it.
like
Sorry,
I just remember that like Tiffany and I, because we only had the 2 mics, because Megan and Katie didn't think to bring theirs. And
Oh, yeah.
We like sat down here and we were like Tiffany and I mean it's again I like that's my sister-in-law. Nobody knows that by now. It's been a year.
What?
Crazy. She's married to my
you're
brother.
I don't even know why we say in-law anymore.
I know. I almost sound like she's my sister, but I'm like, she
From a
she
different
is.
mister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we talk all the time, and like we say this. I know I say this. Like we do this like we would do it without mics in front of us.
Yes.
We sit down, we talk about
Yes.
Harry Potter. This is the
Which-
conversation. Like
which is
all of the
why-
ridiculous laughs and the
Right.
crazy tangents and
Yep.
everything
I was
we
just
do.
gonna say that's why Swish and Flick is the way Swish and Flick is. I know that was kind of confusing, but like that's why we are who we are, because
Yeah.
we are literally just 4 friends getting together to talk about Harry Potter. I do not think that we have to have certain structure. We don't have to do this.
I'm gonna
We
giggle
have
a lot. I'm gonna giggle.
I mean, like we have plenty of structure, but at the same time, like we have the tangents, and that's who we
yeah,
are.
like that's just our like we do this.
And if you don't like it, I'm
regularly.
sorry, we're not ever gonna change it.
there are many other podcasts for you to choose from.
But so
That's
when
fine.
when we sat down here, I remember you and I were just like, I
remember.
want to say
Yeah.
the answer, but I won't. But we were like just going back and forth,
Shooting
talking about
the
Harry
poop.
Potter.
You were shooting the dung.
all that.
Yeah, there it is.
And
Throwing
like
some
we
bombs,
were
dung
just
bombs.
sitting here,
And then we gave them the mics, and they were like, almost didn't know what. Not you didn't know
Yeah.
what to do, but you just had to warm up, and you're
you have
like,
to warm up to it. Yeah.
it's crazy. And I will say, I still can't order a pizza. I order things online.
I too choose not to talk to people.
But that's just my personality. Like, I mean, I guess I could actually do it.
I
but
can
I don't
order
want to.
online.
I'll also say that, like, so actually yesterday, Bev asked me in the car. I don't remember do you remember the question?
Where are you going?
No.
You don't even know what you're saying?
Well, I know what my answer was, but I can't remember like what the exact question was. But it was basically about starting the podcast.
Okay.
I have a Taylor Swift sweater.
Yeah, I
on.
didn't know what it was.
Did you know she met her?
I did.
We can now say only half of this table has met Taylor Swift.
There we go.
She figured out that she's, what are you, 1 degree away from Luke Perry.
We were talking about that. I'm like, we're only 1 degree away from Taylor Swift.
That's true, because of you.
Well, I don't know. Are you guys 0 degrees or 1 degree? So if you're 1 degree, then I'm 2 degrees.
They touched her.
I know,
hugged
but like,
her.
what does it mean though? Like, does that mean you're 0 degrees away
It means
from Taylor
that
Swift?
she's my best friend now.
I mean, it's fine. No, she can be your best friend. But does that mean
No, I
you're
think
0
we're
degrees or
one.
1
Yeah.
degree? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
right on that line.
So anyway, Bev was asking about the podcast and like how it started. And I was like, my answer was like, I just remember the first time that we sat down to like legitimately record the episode, it just felt right.
Yep.
Like it just happened and
Yeah.
it flowed and like it was perfect.
I remember being tense AF
Yeah.
because you know, type A. I wanted it to be like, and I think Ezra was like, you need to settle down. Because I was like,
well, it's like
guys.
the teacher in you
Yeah.
partially,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, you know, okay.
I think
And she was like, you can't swear, you can't do this. And he's like, she needs to calm
I
down. all
was
that stuff.
tightly
We still
wound.
don't swear.
huh?
I said
No,
still
we
swear.
don't. Because
Well, I
we
shouldn't say
have,
We have very little
They
listeners.
still don't swear.
but we have little listeners and
I think
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot better.
You have gotten so much better.
We have little swishers.
she got better once she started editing some episodes.
That's
No,
true.
that was like, so it used to be a real
Real?
a-hole when it came to at the end when Jimmy was like, don't let the muggles get you down, and then I would say down, and then I had to edit one. I'm like, I'm never doing that again. I'm like, so if you are doing a podcast and you have a friend down there that's annoying or does something like that, make them edit. And they're gonna be like, oh gosh. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that anymore because I changed my ways.
I do have to say that I'm incredibly proud of you for all the work that you've taken on and learning how to edit. I mean, you're like BA now at that.
I will say, yeah, I can edit this, but I didn't make him. He chose to edit the other video, so I haven't done videos yet.
Well,
The
that's
Chris-
okay.
Videos take
Yeah.
videos are more time
Oh, dude,
consuming.
it took him like
and-
10 minutes.
well,
Well,
Ezra, would you like a job?
Hey guys, yeah.
I mean,
He's
besides
a producer.
yeah.
besides producer, you'd have a second
I mean,
title.
but really, we have to thank you for all your
Yeah,
your
you really
efforts.
have helped
You-
us out a lot.
Yeah, I know, because they were like, let's start a podcast. Literally the next day, I was like, Ezra Kirk's got
I
the
know
same
a
phone
guy.
number. Let me call him up. And then we've gotten reconnected. And
Shout out to E. Kirk.
I just love you, E. Kirk 2006. I love you so much.
It's been a crazy
Can't
year.
wait to hold you later.
Okay, can I finish what I never really got to talk about
No,
me.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's
I
all
was just
about me,
boosting you
baby.
up. Let's
Let's talk about me, cause I'm cool. Let's talk about all the cool things that I do in my life.
Turn it off.
I just think I like, I'm a talker. I like to talk. So I enjoy doing the podcast. It's been a crazy year. I appreciated that everyone let me have my mini break, which really was supposed to be a lot longer than I got sucked back into it.
She could
Like a
not.
Dementor.
It's hard to be away.
It's hard.
I-
It's hard.
I
It's
have-
very hard.
I have cried. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
because I just love it so
Yeah,
much.
it's
I
like
mean,
gut wrenching.
it is because this is.
And then you don't want to listen
'Cause
to like
people
when
would
you're
be-
not on there.
I don't.
No, I get it. Like, I
No,
completely
because
get it.
I'm like, I want to talk about this.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
not on there. This is my thing too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And like, there's
It's
been
hard.
so many great like the Facebook and all that stuff. Like, I'm not a social media person at all.
And
so
she
it's
wasn't like ever. And
No.
then all of a
Never.
sudden
Yeah.
we did
well,
this.
like, and she like yelled at me, and I'm like, it's a lot to
It's a
take in
lot.
when all of a sudden all of these people, and it's grown into such a wonderful community where I try to be active in everything. So I am
Yeah.
more active than I used to be, but. I'm like, it's so overwhelming in such a wonderful way that there's all of
Yeah.
these people.
Yeah.
And really, like, 99% of it has been wonderful and uplifting and
Yeah.
positive and just people being all over the world being great.
yeah.
So it's cool.
I remember when we were looking at the map and seeing where everybody was downloading from,
Yes.
and that was like,
that was
holy.
like that was one of my favorite things whenever. So I would just like log in to Podbean and I would be like, I'm just gonna take a look at the map and see what countries we're added or see what states we're
It was
added.
great,
And
like, when
was
we got all 50.
And all of a sudden I'm like, we got all 50 states. Oh
Yeah.
my god! And it was so exciting. And
Yeah.
then I was looking at the map and I'm like, who is listening to us in Africa? Like, this is
That,
crazy.
yeah.
Or like Kazakhstan, it was crazy. I was like,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
This is your voice?
I'm just saying, guys, we're still missing a couple countries. You should, like, get your friends.
Spread the swish.
Does
Yeah.
anyone download in Antarctica?
I think we have, like, a couple.
Awesome.
They're penguins.
I was gonna say that we still need Greenland. Shout out to the Greenlandians. Come download the podcast. I really want that big
Is that where you're
country
going?
in the middle of the
Are you going to
ocean.
Iceland?
Iceland.
Oh,
Iceland.
damn. You should have gone to
Did you see
Greenland,
what
make
she
an account.
just did? Iceland.
Wow. I'm not going anywhere.
Reykjavik to the
Oh, I might go to
exact.
California with my sister, but who knows?
You have no hair to flip today.
to
And then, do
Disneyland.
you remember like checking Podbean like religiously and like
Yes.
how many downloads? How many downloads?
And then we'd be like, oh, we hit 100.
And as
Yeah.
of
we
right
hit
now,
500. We hit 1,000.
612,000.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
that's insane. Like we're closing in pretty soon on a mill.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm
What are we gonna do for
cry.
that?
I don't know. Throw a big party.
We should probably continue with the fan stories so we can actually do like a
Hold
whole
on.
separate
Wait.
episode.
Yeah,
Hold on.
we'll do another thing. But
Yeah.
Megan has something to share.
We have lightning bolt questions from our friends behind us.
Oh,
From the swish gallery.
here we
behind us.
go.
Okay.
Can we tell them we're not interested because we don't care about their opinion?
I care.
The Canadians leaving.
Okay, so would you use the map just to sneak around, or would you sit and watch people when you don't need it for sneaking purposes?
People watch.
Oh, people.
I would
watch.
people
I'm
watch
not a
more.
sneaker.
I would love people watching, but I would also
I'd-
sneak. Can I do both?
Yes, I would also like to see, like, at the end of Prisoner of Azkaban in the movies, and you see the two little sneakers
Yes.
together.
Yeah.
They're sneaking together.
Yeah,
You
they're
know
sneaking
stuff
down
was
there.
going on in the
Yeah.
prefix
I want to know how
bathroom.
long Dumbledore spends in the bathroom.
Does he wash his beard every day? Do you think? Do you think he combs it out, puts some
Does he put
essential
some
oils in?
wax
I'm
it?
sure there's like
Some
a
sleek easies.
magical beard.
Oh,
He has beard
sure.
oil.
Does he wear a beard bag when he goes to bed?
Like a
that a
nightcap,
thing?
but a beard cap with a little thing on the end.
A little tassel.
I'm into it. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, if you had the map, who would you share it with, like Harry does with Ron?
No one.
I'd share it with
Ain't
Meg.
no one gonna get my map.
I
I'd
would
share it
share
with
it-
Alana.
Oh, I would share it with Kate.
No, Sarah and I would probably creep on people.
I
I'm
will
not
like
gonna lie.
yeah, Tiffany.
Oh, okay, I thought you were still going.
No, just me.
Awkward pause.
Do you think Fred and George made a copy of it? Why would they give that tool up unless they had a backup?
I don't think
No,
you
I
I don't think
can
they
copy
did
it.
anymore. I don't think they
I-
cared.
I
Yeah.
think that they felt that they knew the castle well enough.
Right.
Like, while it's really awesome to have it to, like, know when people are coming, yes,
I was just gonna say their mischief was managed.
their mischief was managed.
I'm picturing them as in front of like a Xerox machine, just copying every piece of it.
And then they probably put their little tushies on there.
They hid it under one of the flaps that you lift up.
Quick, before I forget.
Yes.
Okay, so they already learned the castle. They already know all the secret passages, right? Their MO now is creating stuff strictly
Right.
for the joke shops. They don't need
True.
it anymore.
Yeah.
True.
Their mischief was managed.
It was managed.
I like that. Yeah, they were definitely, their priorities changed.
They were just chilling out.
They had their-
probably in their room, just making stuff.
They had their priorities in order.
I was gonna say something horrible.
Then don't.
Do you think that the map sees someone's soul since it can see through polyjuice and animagus forms?
That's deep.
That is
That'd be
sweaty.
some deep magic.
I don't know.
I don't know if it can see someone's soul.
I think it can just see
But
through
like, what do
trickery
you mean
for
by
sure.
seeing someone's soul? Who asked that question? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Well, I just mean like maybe their true essence, because Harry would probably then appear as Harry and Voldemort if it was straight up soul.
I would say no then.
Yeah.
Because they would have been like, what the?
Little
Yeah.
Voldemort.
Because that also would have shown Quirrell.
Right.
It's just Harry
Spoiler
carrying
alert,
around a chicken
Quayle
wing.
did.
I'm not pouring one out for him. He's
What'd
a
you say?
sleazeball.
I'll tell you
Okay,
later.
so yeah,
Yeah, but maybe it wasn't enough.
but maybe it was showing up as Tom Riddle, in which
Yeah, but, like,
case
people
the
know who
twins
it
wouldn't.
is.
But I
Oh,
don't
they
think
would've
Fred and
known.
George would have known.
Because does the map recognize
Maybe they're
nicknames?
just like, who is this guy that's always with Quirrell? I have no idea. who
He's
he
like
is.
on top of him. I don't know. But he's in the Great Hall.
Has anyone ever watched
they
a Harry Potter musical where when it's
Yes.
Quirrell and
Yes.
Voldemort, and they're just two guys in that like,
Squirrel. Are they
In
just
a
back to
row.
back?
to dance.
I should watch
again.
it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Will
You won't like it.
No. No, I will. I won't like it. No.
It's not your thing.
Do you think that Fred and George steal from Honeydukes? They do have a direct passage to the storeroom.
Nah, I
think they're that
I think they're
naughty.
better boys than that.
Yeah.
I think they leave money behind.
Like the Tooth Fairy. Like the girls would do at Magnificat. Leave money behind after they were going through the line.
This computer's gonna die. Do you
I
have
don't
a
think who
charger
cares.
there, buddy?
I don't think we really
I think
need
it's
it.
upstairs.
No.
You can use my charger if you want.
I just gotta remember. What do I say at the end?
I don't know. You've been
Don't,
saying it
don't
since
let
you're
the squibs
gone.
let you down.
Don't let who?
the
the
squibs
squibs.
let you down.
No, the smuggles.
The smuggles.
No mages.
No Madge.
Non magique.
I kind of feel like they do steal.
I don't.
No, I think
I
they
think
leave
they're-
money. Mrs. Weasley taught them better than
Like
that.
I think
Eat their
they're
booze.
naughty in a different way. You know what I mean?
Are they naughty?
I just don't think they're the type of men that would steal.
Yeah.
Fred for sure now would not steal.
Do you think they borrow?
Oh my gosh. She's horrible. Borrow?
George
How do you
can only-
borrow?
Well, like I don't know.
Do you like leave your turds behind after you digest the chocolate?
Yeah, kind of.
Just
Why?
recycle.
I don't know. Let's give them back. Same color.
Oh my gosh.
Unless you're not healthy.
Oh my gosh.
It always comes to poop.
Do wizard? I like this one. Do wizard waiting rooms have candy dishes, and can that become dangerous because what they would make you do, like breathe fire?
Well, in Half Blood Prince, I think Harry goes to eat some liquor snaps. They are pretty dangerous. They
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
after him.
Yeah,
I bet you they do.
Wait, what if there's
like at Mungo's, like St. Mungo's. Do you think there's little candy dishes in the waiting area?
like
I
lollipops?
bet you they put them out there when their like business is low and they want some money, so they're like, here, be
here's
in
some
the waiting
acid pops. Burn a hole in your tongue. We'll fix it.
Who put that there?
What if they just make you feel good? Like, what if you get a lollipop that gives you joy?
Makes you feel good.
Feel good pop.
You're always on the positive side of things here. I'm just burning
A
holes in people's
positive
tongues.
pop.
Well, that's why we are in the houses we are in it.
Truth.
A posy lolly.
A posy lolly.
Oh, there you go.
I like
Dumb.
that.
Okay.
Then you can't have any. They're all mine.
hate your idea. It's not good.
Have you ever been in the perfect place at the perfect time, like when Harry appears behind Ron and Hermione at the candy shop?
Like to scare someone? Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, the last time Katie was
Ah,
here, I
got
scared her
me.
like 3 times.
I don't
did.
know.
She did.
I can't think of anything.
I think so.
I don't think this is necessarily like the right place, right time, but I've had moments where I like knew something was going to happen before it happened.
Yeah, I know what
That's
you're
happening.
thinking.
Oh, I know.
Like that's happened to me like a handful of times.
Are you gonna say Taylor Swift?
I was in the perfect place for Taylor Swift's mom to come up and put her hand on my shoulder and go, "Get them in." And then I
Your
cried.
hand on my shoulder.
And then I cried like a baby.
Oh my god.
Me too. I had tears in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Just for
So
you.
yeah, I have been. Yep. Yep. Did Fred and George find any new things and add it to the map? Do they know something
Ooh.
that Black and Remus and James, well, they probably know some things that James doesn't know because he's dead.
Whoa! But the room of requirement was still not on there.
But do you think that the room of requirement
I think
wasn't on there
that's-
because
I
they
don't
don't
think
know
you-
about it or because it's just unplottable?
But I don't know.
I don't
That's my question.
think you can put it on there.
Yeah, it's unplottable.
But also
Don't put it on me, girl.
don't put it on me. That if you can tell us where that's from, I'm gonna send you something.
Legitimately.
Like I'll send you something. No one's gonna get it.
no.
I don't think you can put it on the map. So that just it does make me question whether they knew it or not because we don't know.
Yeah.
Because
Every
in
time I
all our
hear-
memories we don't see.
Yeah, every time I hear the
That.
map, I think of Dora the Explorer. I'm the map. I'm the map.
I feel like
There's a
Fred
place
and
you wanna
George-
Go. I can get you there.
I-
That's what it sings when
I
you
feel
open
like
it.
Fred and George would know new things because
Yeah.
they have the map and they were given this plethora of knowledge and a map and their little minds
They're
they're
not
gonna
little, they're
continue.
big.
But when they got it, they were first years.
Do you think they
doesn't mean
knew
that
how to
they're not
add
dumb.
to it? Like they figured out how to
I
add
think
to
they
it?
would.
I think that
What did they
the
add?
map would have helped them
Mhm.
out and figured out how
Or-
to tell them to add it.
Do you think the map adds itself?
Maybe like as the owner like discovers things, it just appears.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I think that's the answer. That the map kind of does.
So
it
if you
itself.
figure it out, the map's
Yeah.
like, all right.
Yep.
Adding to it. I like that. I like this one. Can you put a Fidelius charm on a piece of clothing so that you can move around like Bubble Boy?
No, I don't think so.
Why? That'd be so awesome.
I just don't think that's a thing.
I think it's a stationary location.
Yeah.
But like if you
I
are
think it'd
in
be too
a
difficult.
home that is
Home is where the heart is.
right. So what if it's a Fidelius charm on my heart?
Well, I don't think that's
Is there a
possible.
little bowl of
I think
light?
that's Celestina Warbeck's next single.
Don't put. I don't know what the.
tried.
And it's done. And it's done.
Mad about that. In Cursed Child, they. I know.
Do you?
I finally saw it, and it's much better than reading it. I'm just saying.
I would assume.
But they leave the house with baby Harry and go for walks. So I don't know if that's. I don't even know if you can hear me on this. But I don't know if that is before
Yeah.
the charm is put on, before the prophecy is heard.
Probably, I would think, because it was only a week
After.
before. Like the charm was.
It was
on
a
there
very,
for a whole
yeah,
week,
it's a
and
very
but they
short
lived
period of
there.
time.
They were. It was on there for a week, and James was already stir crazy.
I would be crazy after a week in my
I know,
house.
I know.
Just wait.
Just you.
I've
wait.
been clawing the walls of my home.
You're gonna go over there. It's gonna look like the Shrieking Shack.
For real.
It doesn't look.
Dude, I had to change my curtains. My curtains were too dark. I was like, no, it affects your mood.
Yeah.
It was making me cry. My house was too dark. So I have white curtains now.
All right, are we ready for the story of the fan?
Fan
Yeah.
story.
Do it to it.
I hope I don't say her name wrong, but this one comes from Megan Velasquez.
Velasquez?
I always say it in my head, and it doesn't sound like that.
Yeah.
Sounds better in my
Alaska?
head.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Yep.
Sorry, Megan. She says, I was 7 years old when I was first introduced to Harry Potter. My mom and my brother had been reading the books and told me all about the series and got me all excited for the first movie that was coming out soon. I went to the movie with them and immediately fell in love with the story and the world. I remember having the same look of awe in my eyes that the trio did when they first saw the Hogwarts castle. After that, I tried reading the first book, but at the time, I just wasn't at the right reading level to absorb what was happening. I tried, but just couldn't understand it. From then on out, I just stuck with watching the movies as they came out. I was obsessed with the Wizarding World nonetheless. In high school, I finally found friends that were as nerdy about the series as I was, and at that point, I stopped procrastinating and finally read the books. I never felt like I was missing anything by just watching the movies, but when I read the books, I only felt like they were enriching the world I loved even more. I did feel insecurity over my Potter obsession, only because some people I knew in high school made me think I wasn't a real Potter fan because I didn't grow up reading the books. Listen, don't judge anyone based on what level of Potter they are. If they appreciate it, they appreciate it.
Agreed.
Even after I read the books, that feeling was still there because I didn't experience the books the same way these other people did. By now, I surround myself with people who encourage any kind of Potter experience, including the fantastic Facebook group, and close friends who I can chat with for hours about anything Potter related. What I want to say with this fan story is that it should never matter how you become a Potter fan. If you love Harry Potter, you're a fan. Don't listen to anyone else and just have fun. Have your fun and happiness. Much love to Swish and Flick. And she put a little purple heart emoji.
I agree.
I just want to say about her story really quick that I love actually that she experienced it that way because most of us felt negativity towards the movies because we started with the books. So we felt as if watching the movies, they were taking away too much information and we were mad that they missed this and they missed that and they didn't elaborate on this and they didn't elaborate on that. But she got to just enjoy the movies for what they were and then reading the books just enriched it, as she said,
good
which
word.
like is such a good, like, I'm kind of jealous of that. Like, I would never want to change. I did see the first movie before I read the books that were out at that time. But, after the first movie, I was one of those people that was just picking apart the movies. And I'm like, oh, I hate that they did this. I hate that they did that.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, when I was older, I was like, you need to stop doing that and just enjoy them for what they are.
Yeah, kind of
So,
separately.
like,
you know what I
right.
mean?
They are what they are. You can't change anything. They're beautiful as they are done, and just end it at that. So, and I'm semi-jealous of that take on it because it's like you never felt negativity towards the series at any point because you just watched the movies and fell in love with them that way, and then the books are even better. So you read them and just got even more.
I try so hard to separate, but
It's
it
hard.
still bothers me.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I'm better.
It's hard, but I've kind of like the movies have turned into more of like a background noise thing for me. Like I have them on just as a comfort, really.
And
'cause
come on, the quotes.
right.
I can't even
So-
pay attention anymore. I have them on in the background.
I
so
know,
much.
yeah, I'm the same way. And I'm kind of mad at myself that it's like that right now, because sometimes I really do like have the intention of sitting down and watching the movie, but then I just get distracted or I'll talk or I'll look at my phone, and then I'll get mad that I just missed 10 minutes of the movie because I was staring at my dumb phone.
Okay.
So yeah, that's all.
Do y'all want to plug your projects?
I have none.
Yeah, you do. Her name's Alana.
Alana's my project.
Katie. you can start.
Let's see. Me and Meg have a Disney podcast as well. It's called Grown Up Kids. We are doing a chronological rewatch of all of the films, animated
All of
and
the-
live action.
Amazing, lovely films from the 50s.
Some of them are really good, like Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland.
What do you want?
Truth. We just did Peter
yeah.
Pan this past weekend, and we actually are not doing an episode this weekend because of the Swish and Flick extravaganza at the Wizardly World of Kent. So next week we are doing The Sword and the Rose, which is a live action. I've never seen it, so.
Sword in the Rose. Interesting.
Okay. Want to plug the other project?
Which one? So we
If you are a
also
patron
have-
and in the Ohio area today, please come to Potterfest.
Oh, right.
You can meet most of us.
I'll be there for a few.
Yeah.
It's going to be
We're going to
very
be there
interesting.
hanging out and spending time with everybody who wants to spend time with us at Wizardly World
Yeah.
of Kent on Saturday, July 28th. If you're a patron, you can get in your car right now. It's 8 a.m. It starts at 10. So if you're within 2 hours, you'll get there at open. It goes until 8 o'clock at night. So even if you're not from Ohio, you got time, girl.
And we're doing
Or
an
guys.
after thing.
Yeah. Y'all
Person.
Like
Yeah.
after
And we're
hours.
doing, for
Wink.
anybody who doesn't know, actually, who is a patron and is coming to Wizardly World of Kent, we are doing an after-hours event at Tropus Projects in Kent, and it's going to be like a Q&A meet and greet with us, with pizza provided from a local pizza shop,
It's really good
Lucci's.
pizza.
It's delish. It's New York-style pizza, and it is literally my favorite pizza in Ohio.
If you want to catch me, Tiffany, at Potterfest, you're going to have to get there early because I'm going to bounce at probably like 12:30 or 1.
Yeah.
I got stuff. My grandma's turning 80 and we're surprising her.
Grandma.
Fun.
Happy birthday to Grandma.
And I have like a child and stuff, so.
Yeah, baby.
She's taking a bottle though from Marty, so
That's awesome.
kudos to her.
This is good.
Gives me a little bit of freedom. All right.
Do you want to talk about your podcast?
Yeah, since you were on
E-Kirk?
it in the beginning.
He's over there napping. He does.
I don't know what you do.
He unexpectedly talks about an unexpected podcast.
Unexpected chats.
With his friend
they talk
Lane.
about people who live in hills. I don't know. There's
Hobbits
a guy
or
with an
something.
eye.
There's
They got,
a wizard.
There's
They
like
brought-
a necklace that makes you invisible.
They
I don't know.
They broadcast from the Shire of America, Amanda, Ohio.
I will say he
What's a
did. He
shire?
did tell us in private that he thinks those Hobbit movies are the best movies he's ever seen in his entire life.
Wow, I never said that.
He also has
would
no idea who
disagree with that.
Smeagol is. So can somebody tell him? Because
There's a little
So-
movie called Jurassic Park that would beg to differ with you. A little man called Steven Spielberg.
So, if you've listened to any of the other episodes, you know that he's on Unexpected Podcast with his friend Lane. They talk about Lord of the Rings, Tolkien stuff, whatever. And then he's on,
and it's Up Talking Tolkien on
Yeah.
social media.
yeah, and
very
then
confusing.
yeah, sir, it's very unexpected of you.
I wasn't expecting it.
And then him and his friend Matt have a podcast called Bend the Knee. They talk about Game of Thrones stuff. They're doing a reread of that.
They
He likes
talk
to
about,
read,
like,
apparently.
The game that people sit on chairs. That's what it
Musical
and
chairs.
it's Bend the Knee.
Yeah.
You find it all on like
Is that why
Podbean
it's
and
called
social
Game of
media. and
Thrones?
stuff.
Because of that throne?
I don't know. It's just the first book, though. It's what is it called? A Song of Fire and Ice. Ice and Fire. It's such a Cherylism that I
Song
do
of
that.
Salt and Pepper.
But the first book in the series is Game of Thrones. But that's what the series, the show series is called.
They
Game of
pass the
Thrones.
chair around and fight for it. That's why there's so many swords on it.
Okay.
I have one more thing I want to say before we do the closing.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
She has
So-
things.
So I don't really have anything I plug anymore. We might turn BB-8 radio into something different. So
Yep.
that's in talks. But I
be
figured
fun,
I'm going
though.
to start talking about books that I've read. And because I was so moved by this book, it's called, I think it's Honey and Milk.
I think it's milk and honey.
Milk and Honey? What is wrong with me?
Well, where
By,
do you
like-
want to start?
Peppers and opinions.
Yeah, Ruby Kapoor, like Kaur, it's Rapikaur, and it's a book of her poems. And I can't tell you, I've never really, I mean, I've read like poems and stuff, but like to read a book of just her poems, it was so moving. It might be triggering to some people, just warning you if you want to read it. It's 4 chapters. The first one is hurting, then it's loving, breaking, and healing are the other 3 chapters, and they're all poems that she wrote. They're so beautiful. It made me cry.
She write it going through something.
I don't know the whole backstory. I know that
Okay.
she was in college, and she's only like 26.
Okay.
So, and she just released her second book called, like The Sun and Her Flowers, which I do have. I haven't started reading it yet, which again is, which is another book of poems, but she was doing all these open mic nights and reading all these poems, and so, like people were coming up to her like, we want your book, and she's like, well, I haven't written one, or I haven't put them all together in a book form. And she was on Jimmy Kimmel talking about her book, and she was like, just like J.K. Rowling, she goes, I went and got denied by a lot of publishers. She's like, so I just decided to self-publish it. So she does there's some artwork in it. She does all the artwork herself. She did the whole design work, and printed it and published it. And it's beautiful. It's sad. It's moving. So I suggest, I mean, again, it can be triggering. So if you want to read it, go read it. It was very good.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Well, I just want to say that a year ago, you know, we mentioned this. I was sitting in this basement. My heart is so happy that Tiffany is sitting here, and that I'm serious. I'm with all of you guys. It just makes me so happy.
Stop.
I'm serious. I met you guys like a year ago, and it just, I don't know. I'm the same. I nerded out, fanboyed hard when Tiffany walked in here. I was like, oh my gosh, she's here. What do we do?
The queen is back.
I felt like I was insulting her microphone, and I just.
Well, you licked it, so.
I did. I'm gonna buy you a new. That was an accident, by the way. That was actually an accident.
There's no such thing as accidents.
So, anyways, just I love you guys. That's all I wanted to say. Okay.
And again, thank you so much for stepping in and helping us
Yes.
out. You've done a lot for this podcast.
You're welcome.
So.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
And I want to say
Wonderful.
a huge thank you to every single one of our listeners
Yeah.
who have either
Yes.
started with us from episode 1 and jumped on right away, or the people who just found our podcast last week and
Or
downloaded
today.
or today.
And if
this
you
is the
can-
first one that you're listening
Yeah.
to. I can't thank you all enough for turning this into something that we had no idea it was going to become. I literally was going to do this even if one person listened to it, and that one person might have been my mom.
Yeah, like as much as we love and appreciate, like even if all of it went away tomorrow and we'd still have the podcast, you know, that's what matters. And like what's great is that everyone is so great. We got like, and we say this, but I'm not lying when I say we have the best listeners. So
Well, we
sorry,
say it all the
Unexpected Podcast.
time.
Our listeners are better.
We say it all the time because it's true.
It is true. It is
Yeah.
true.
Y'all are amazing,
All right.
and so are we.
Oh my God. That's
So-
typical.
Thank you from the bottom of.
Thank you for
All of our
1 year of
hearts.
Swish and Flick today.
We're all gonna get tattoos. Everyone in this basement's getting Swish and Flick across their forehead.
Yeah.
I was just
Right
gonna say we can
across.
get the stars. I have them. Never
I
mind.
can get them
Yep.
somewhere.
Yep.
I don't know. Is it time?
It's time.
It's time. I don't have to
Okay.
clip you in.
You don't have to clip me in. Okay, guys, that concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and don't let the muggles get you down.
Amazing! Just my voice.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Hi.
Special guest here.
Guys, Tiffany's back.
Tiffany's back.
She's back.
And with a baby.
She's back. I absolutely. No. Yeah, I'll get you a new one.
We want to actually pause.
Yeah, I want her to sit down.
All right, we gotta pause for a second so we can talk to this baby.
Pause at 53 minutes and 45 seconds. Edit this.
Who's in your